Okay, let's try this again. Hello again, YouTube. I've been sick, in case you can't tell. Uh, hopefully, hopefully my system has purged all the things it needs to purge, but there might be some coughing, there might be some noises that I make for you that are less than entirely pleasant, and unfortunately, I'm not gonna edit them out, because that's not how we do on this channel, which is something I should really do an intro video for the channel, for people, because people now have started finding this channel who have no idea who I am or what else I do, which is fine. That is completely fine by me. Hello, welcome along. But this is a channel I created at the start of the year, basically, as a shitpost and fuck around channel. Like, as a channel where I just do whatever the fuck I want. I sit down, I record something, I upload it, and there's no editing, and there's no polish, there's no nothing. I just do whatever the hell I want for my own entertainment, and I don't care about anyone else's opinion, which is a difficult thing to do, but I'm working hard at it. So this is not a channel that is high production value or well edited or the place for like the edited video essays. That's my main channel. You can go there for that. I have a shorts channel. I have a let's play channel. There is even a vlog channel that most people who follow me don't know about because I don't promote it. So you can follow those channels for more polished content stuff if that's what you want. But on here, we are extemporaneous, we are nonsensical, we do whatever the fuck we want, and I will YouTube poop as much as I damn well please, no matter how incredibly annoying I know, and I understand, and I sympathize that it is for some of you, because I am here to have my own fun for my own reasons, and the rest of you just kind of have to deal with that. Sorry, that's the way it goes. Anyway, this is an episode of the Amazing Digital Circus where everyone gets guns, and chat has let me know, apparently, that this is supposed to be, like, that the show is supposed to end on episode 9, which is in 3 episodes, which is a sort of surprising thing to learn. I knew that it wasn't going to be a super long show, but certainly structurally, especially the last episode, to me, did not really feel like, oh, this is like the beginning, like the middle of, like, sort of like past the middle of the story. That felt like the end of the first act in a lot of ways, because this was the moment, like, okay, everyone's gimmick has been introduced, everyone has kind of had some time to establish themselves as characters and dynamics, and now we're finally sort of cracking the shell a little bit. Like, people are sort of being a little bit more vulnerable, who they are, where they came from, what their real lives were like. And that's the sort of narrative beat that I personally associate with, like, oh, okay, that's the end of Act 1, right? Like, that's sort of like the establishing thing when everyone starts to come together a little bit, we start to get invested in the characters. Then a big dramatic thing happens in Act 2, where usually there's a small, like, dramatic climax with some kind of triumph, and then by the time we need to get to Act 3, that's where we sort of hit the all is lost moment, right? Like the moment of greatest peril, from which then we build the dramatic tension back up to a triumphant climax, and thus the end of the story, which, depending on the genre, it can be different things that happen there. It's not necessarily a happy ending, but a climax nonetheless has to occur. And so for me, narratively, of what I've seen of the Digital Circus so far, feels like, oh, we've just finished, like, the establishing Act 1, right? And now Act 2 is, we're getting into Act 2, and that's when the mystery is going to deepen, we're going to start to get some answers, and then Act 3, the climax, the big baba, right? So I was surprised to learn that we only have 3 episodes left to go. Now, apparently, those 3 episodes are going to be longer and longer and longer, which is great for me, because that's what I do here on this channel too. It's like even more of an excuse to waste my day to waste my days yapping on about a cartoon on the internet, which, you know, hooray. But I do feel like if they want to bring all this home, and they want it, like, again, it depends on what they want, right? If they want to bring all this home and it all needs to feel like satisfying and like, oh, okay, all the threads have been brought together, we have, like, resolved all of the narrative thematic tension in the story, and, like, it sort of ends on a note of resolution and understanding, then, like, yeah, I think they probably have to rush to cram quite a bit of stuff into the last bit of the story now. But this is sort of a dark comedy horror tinged story, and when you're working within those genres, a lack of resolution can also be the objective. I really ought to do a yap session about theories. Like, once we finish this episode, I should really do a yap session about theories about where and how it's all going to end, just for the fun of it. But in my head, I've sort of, I keep having the thought in my head that at the end of episode 1, we saw the computer that Pomni, presumably in the real world, had interacted with, put on the headset, and now she got zapped into the computer. But there was no Pomni at the computer. Like, her body wasn't there, like being sort of trapped SAO style in the alternate universe, which sort of, for me, always felt like it was gesturing towards the idea that that's not Pomni actually in there. The headset just scanned them, turned them into computer characters, but their real world counterparts, their real bodies, are still walking around out in the real world, unaware of everything in the circus, and just getting on with their regular lives. That was that's my thought about the place that it was going. And that's why characters abstract, is because they are not actually human consciousnesses. They are just snapshots, and they can't deal with learning and changing it. Like that would be the reason why they abstract, is because there is no actual human mind with like a chemistry that can handle changing in this way. But if we only have 3 episodes, and if we only have 3 episodes left to go, like, wouldn't that be a banger of a last shot? Is like, they figure out a way to escape the circus, and they go onto the internet, and like they're rushing around trying to find their way back to the computer, and they come across a webcam that's turned on, and there Pomni sees herself, her body, walking around in the real world, maybe has a boyfriend at this point, just getting on with her life, being happy and fulfilled and joyful and living a better life than Pomni ever thought that she ever would live, and she has to realize that that's not her, and it's never gonna be. Wouldn't that be something? But, you know, that's for the theory video later. My point being, I was kind of surprised that we're getting that close to the end already. So I guess let's see what's going to happen in the episode where they give the clown a gun.
Today's adventure is brought to you by the Favorite Character Awards.
Impact Fund, of course.
Find out who will claim the ultimate prize.
Can you toss that back up here?
Making good use of your parts gimmick, huh?
Oh, shut up.
What are you doing up there?
I'm hiding from Caine. I think I...
Once again, the lighting is... I don't know how much of it is just in my head that I think the lighting changes ever so subtly from episode to episode, but the colors here feel particularly vivid. Like, it's always a very vivid primary color, like it's sitcom lighting we talked about before out in the sort of opening stages of a Digital Circus episode.
Over.
It's like, it's almost like very sort of early Pixar a little bit.
I heard him talking to Bubble about an in-house adventure, and I'm not gonna be part of it.
Sure, Zooble, I'm sure you can hide from the omniscient god AI that rules your life in a flower pot. But then it's Caine, like, you know, maybe they can, actually. I do like this little detail, an in-house adventure. Like, the venom with which they say that. Adventure. Like, you can see the bits on the head just, like, shaking, like, grrr. Almost like the tail of a rattlesnake. I thought that was a lovely little...
And I'm not gonna be part of it.
And you're just gonna hang out in a flower pot all day? Not like your room?
Caine's been checking up on my room lately. When I don't answer, he just starts singing Daisy Bell in front of my door. It's creepy.
Wait, really? They're fucking... Okay. So who knows about Daisy Bell? Okay, so Caine is an AI, right? Daisy, Daisy, give me your answer, do. I'm half crazy just for the love of you. That's an old sort of standard folky song that's very popular, and it was, I believe, the first song that was ever sung by a synthesized human voice, right? Like, that was the first time, like, when they were experimenting on how to synthesize a human voice and create that, like, text-to-speech, basically. Like, that's where that technology begins. That's where Hatsune Miku begins, by the way. Like, the technology that eventually leads to her begins with that specific songs. It's like much in the way that the teapot is this reference to like the very, very beginning of 3D animation. that's very much a reference to like the very beginning of computing. I guess just another sly reference to the fact that Caine is an AI.
Daisy Bell in front of my door. It's creepy.
Does he really do that?
I don't know. Let's ask him. Hey, Caine! Hey, Caine! I don't know. Let's ask him. Let's ask him. Hey, Caine!
Anyway, just I wanted to see the transformation. How they transform Jax's face from the one shape to the other, because I do wonder if that's a straight up model swap, if they swap to a different model, or if they apply like a specific transformation thing specifically to the head part of his rig in order to do that. But, you know, motion blur. I do enjoy it though. Like, I do enjoy when Jax in particular is able to distort his model like that. I feel like they could do it a little bit more with him, honestly. Like really sort of play into the rubber hose, Max Fleischer level, sort of extremely mutable character that his character design justifies for him.
Hey, Caine!
You fucking asshole!
Yes, Jack?
I appreciate the T-pose. I do.
Yes, Jax?
Look, it's Zubul.
You!
Ah, there you are. Now I don't have to do the snap summon thing. And I...
Okay, there's a classic. Again, we talk about movement aesthetics, so two things are happening here. Coyote time, first of all, which is this, right? Which is the flower pot breaks, Zubul is supported by nothing, but they nonetheless stay suspended in the air. That's called coyote time. I've talked about this on the channel many times before. Basically because of Looney Tunes. Whenever Wile E. Coyote is chasing the Roadrunner, runs out over a cliff edge, and doesn't realize that he's supposed to fall until he looks down, that's coyote time, right? Like, that's that little extra moment of time that a cartoon character gets where they can just ignore gravity because it's funny. And animation applies this everywhere, not just in comedy beats like this one, but you will see it everywhere in action scenes, in very, very serious animation as well. You will see, if you slow it down and you check, that characters will choose just to casually ignore gravity occasionally. Just occasionally they'll be like, yeah, gravity is not going to affect me just yet, because the animator needs their movement to read in a particular way, or they need like the dramatic beat to go on for just a little bit longer, or they want to show an action with a certain level of clarity. And so the thing we do is like, okay, we just ignore gravity, like with a little bit of creative license just for a moment in order to make the character's movement read more realistically, or make it read more dramatically. Coyote time is used for that as well as for like silly gags like this. And then there's a secondary thing in terms of movement aesthetic. That. You see the way that Zubul just falls on the ground and stays there flat, like basically functionally unmoving, with essentially no bounce. If a human body falls on the ground, there is bounce because we're made of water and it blah, blah, blah. If Zubul is made of plastic, there should be bounce. But for the comedy bit, the animator's choosing for Zubul not to bounce, not to splash around, not to flail, not to do anything, but just to like just sort of magnetize to the ground to make it funnier. And now that I've explained the joke, it doesn't work anymore, but it is funny. Like, that's a funnier way for a cartoon character to fall than if they bounced around and ragdolled realistically.
And I'm glad I found you. I found you. I found you. We need you. We need you. We need
Sorry.
even numbers, cause today's adventure is a team
Oh, that's gently horrifying. That's gently horrifying in no small part because
Is a team adventure.
he gains multiple voices when he gains more eyeballs. That's very... Caine is a character who, in any other aesthetic than the Amazing Digital Circus, like if you drew him in any other aesthetic, he would straight up be a Bloodborne monster.
Is a team adventure.
Fucking Polyphemus over here. It is very effective. Like, people have talked, like, because I don't bring it up myself, people in the comments of these reactions keep talking about, oh, it's the Harlan Ellison story, I have no mouth and I'm a screen, but Caine is like a benevolent AI who wants to be nice to people instead of Am who wants to torture people forever. And I know that that's what it is. I know what it is. You don't have to tell me. I've been told many hundreds of times already. It was also pretty obvious. But he's still horrifying. Like, that's something I quite like about the way they play with Caine at times, is that 99% of his animation is drawn from sources like the genie from Aladdin, right? Like, most of it is drawn from cartooning, it's drawn from comedy, it's drawn from Tom and Jerry, it's drawn from all of that, but then the ways that they approach his uncanniness and his weirdness in certain aspects, they just overlap into imagery that's borrowed straight out of horror. Like, for example, this, right? And they do it so smoothly and so effectively. It's very impressive because it never breaks the tone. It never breaks the tone of the show. It never all of a sudden turns everything into a horror theme thing. Like, it remains comedic. It's just that little gesture towards
Team adventure. Meet you guys up at the stage. Meet you guys up as meet you guys up at the stage. Urgent adventure. Meet you guys up at the stage in let's say 5.7 minutes.
Great. Didn't even ask him about the singing thing.
The what?
Today's adventure is gonna be a bit of a short one due to the Favorite Character Awards, but it'll be a perfect opportunity to showcase your guys' strengths.
Caine inflation canon.
Strengths to the press.
This is so heavy.
That's right, Bubble. Seeing you all play bat-ball a few days ago really got me thinking. We should do our own sporting event, but with cool new sports invented by yours truly.
Help me, Caine.
Lovely detail about Bubble as he appears. Like, from the moment he appears on screen, I think Bubble is he. You can see that Bubble is slowly sinking, slowly compressing more and more under the weight, like, slowly. And I quite like that. That's quite fun. Because it's one thing just to pose the character in such a way as to imply the weight, right? It's another thing to just have this agonizingly slow sinking as Bubble's, like, whatever structural integrity he has collapses.
Sporting event, but with cool new sports. New sports invented by yours truly.
Help me, Caine.
We could also just play softball normally this time.
Yeah.
In the Caine Leagues, we have the 400-meter vertical skedaddle, bisection boogie egg ball, lateral hijinks, orange sport, ball run, walk ball, run walk, and ball ball. Ball 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 net and ball net and ball net and ball 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 These sports
Sorry, I
are
could not
surely
resist.
Going to
Yeah, sorry, no, I'm not gonna be.
These sports are surely
Surely, must you always emphasize the fucking the fucking labiodental? Must you do it? Must you? Glitch, really? Must you? With the
surely going to
Yeah, sorry, no, I'm not gonna be on a team with that one.
Zooble, why does all you do is complaining? I never know what you want!
We had a whole suggestion box for that.
Yeah, Zubul and I constantly say we like more chill and relaxing adventures.
Did you really not like my softball one?
I'm not big into sports, sorry.
The suggestion box just causes interpersonal drama, and me no likey.
All right, you really want to know what I want?
Oh no.
I want the ability to have sex.
No way. Are we finally having this conversation?
in Minecraft, YouTube, in Minecraft, it's parody in Minecraft, not real. Please don't demonetize me.
Box just causes interpersonal drama.
Huh, I would love to see an alternate angle on Caine's animation here, by the way. Because looking at his mouth movements, it doesn't look like they're doing... Yeah, they're definitely not doing nearly as much lip syncing. Like, they're not deforming the teeth nearly as much, it looks like, from this angle anyway, as they usually would to match, like, the sounds that he's producing. So they're doing a little bit more of just a lip flap thing where it's just like yap, 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 and then they're emphasizing it with, like, his actual physical acting.
Interpersonal drama, and me no likey. Me no likey.
All right.
I also do like the thing of, like, me no likey hides himself away inside his own teeth. That's an adorable. That's a nice acting gesture for this character.
All right. You really want to know what I want?
Oh no.
I want the ability to have sex.
Which, I mean, the fan artists have been providing you with that for a while, I suspect, Zooble. But not in the digital circus itself, I guess. I will say, honestly, I did not think they were ever going to broach that. That's another thing about, like, the tone of the show, right? Like, the tone of the show is aesthetically, visually, so much of it is children's cartoon-based and children's toys and, like, all of this children's media. Like, it's all very family-friendly by nature of that, right? And then part of the point of that is that we contrast that family-friendly sort of surface aesthetic with the horrifying existentialism of, like, oh, we're trapped in a digital reality that is not true, and we're trapped in bodies that are not our own, and also here's a horror adventure with one of the most terrifying 3D models you've ever seen in your life, right? That's sort of part of the point. But that to me always also felt like, okay, this is sort of a concession to the reality of trying to do stuff on YouTube, where even just mentioning, like, and I've had this happen to my videos, just mentioning the realities of sex in a video can be enough to get you hit with demonetization. Like you don't have to do very much, especially if you talk in any way, shape, or form about queer sex, right? So for me, it also felt like, okay, this is also, we're producing like this sort of dark-tinged, horror-themed show with these children's aesthetics, in part to get around the way that YouTube hyper-censors, right? Especially independent animation. But I guess, like, Gaslight District was able... That's the other thing. Like, the other thing about trying to navigate the strictures of content creation on, you know, Alphabet's internet in 2025 is you can show as much ultra-violence as you want. Like, I would not be surprised if the Gaslight District is not even age-restricted, despite all of the ultra-violence that it shows. All the blood, all the guts, all the goriness, all the murder, all the morbidness, all the, like, the images of corpses and shit. I would not be surprised if it wasn't particularly age-restricted. But if there's a nipple, and that nipple seems to be feminine-presenting, you can get your channel deleted for that shit, right? Like, that's the sort of fundamental hypocrisy of the way that we treat the concept of appropriateness in media. Is like children playing Fortnite blasting each other in the head with shotguns. It's just for play. It's just for fun. It's not real. Who cares? Like, don't be oversensitive. It's cops and robbers. Who cares? Yeah, whatever. But the concept of a blowjob. Oh my god, in front of the children? How can I possibly explain this to them? No, children, like, you must not do that. Go back to blasting shotguns in Fortnite. Like children must do. Like this, there is this deeply Puritan streak to all of content moderation where the concept of sexuality, like not just like the display of actual explicit material, but just the concept of sex and sexuality. These things are moderated so much more aggressively and considered so much more of a moral hazard to the minds of human beings than violence, than horror, than death, than murder, than war. And that's a difficult thing to navigate. And like, that's part of the reason why there isn't that much true adult animation, right? Like, when you get adult animation, it tends to be Rick and Morty and shit like that. At least in part because animation, being a thing which is identified as for children, can broach a lot of violence. Tom and Jerry dropped anvils on each other all the time. That's fine. They can broach a lot of violence. It's a lot harder for animation to broach sexuality. Because it is identified as children-oriented media, it also gets hit with a much heavier censorship restriction on, well, you can't show that because children might see that this is a cartoon and think that's appropriate, and then someone mentions the existence of a penis, and then what's going to happen is that child is going to be gay, or whatever, like insane nonsense, right? So I'm surprised that they're even broaching it like that. Like, I don't know how deep they're going to go into it. Like, no, I'm not going to make that joke. I'll get myself demonetized. I don't know how deep they're going to go into the topic. I was about to say how deep they're going to go into it with the characters. But I'm surprised that they're even broaching it. That's like, it shouldn't be, but that's taking a risk on youtube.com. Especially when the Amazing Digital Circus, like, even though it's not made for children really, it definitely has a big audience of children. And YouTube takes that kind of thing into account with its moderation decisions.
The ability to have sex.
No way. Are we finally having this conversation?
Very good.
Oh, hi, Zubul.
Do you,
Speaking of which, like, Caine is an AI, right? Presumably he's an AI who has been programmed with some sort of strict family-friendly filter on him, which, again, his family-friendly filter is like, oh no, yeah, like horrifying angel monsters from beyond the veil of truth and reality and demonic possession. Oh yeah, that's fine. Don't worry about that. That's cool. That's family-friendly. That's fun for everyone. Like, but the concept that a consenting adult might do sex with someone is, well, it causes this, right? And I do like the visual effects that they're using here. Right, because you can see the way that they apply.
Yeah, one.
have ability to have
Sorry, I wanted to talk about the way that they're applying. So over like this, we have the regular Digital Circus aesthetic, which is like squeaky clean, right? Like absolutely picture perfect, clean, high resolution. Basically, there's no film grain applied to the Digital Circus itself. There's no texture beyond the texture of the objects themselves, which tend to be made of plastic, right? But as Caine begins to deteriorate more and more and more, it looks like sharpening filters to me. They're applying these sharpening filters that are like, oh, it's not even grain, actually. Yeah, they're applying these sharpening filters that are like warping the colors and distorting like the edges around high contrast areas of the character. And it also gives the effect of essentially his resolution being downgraded, right? Like it's essentially like he goes from being filmed with a 4K film camera to being filmed with like a 90s camcorder almost, right? With a bunch of these specific distortions here. Like you see these horizontal lines, they look a lot like VHS distortions or scanline distortions to me. And it seems to be like a localized field as well, just around him.
Oh, hi, Zubul.
And I guess that's what it looks like when Caine just blue screens and resets.
Do you have any of that stupid sauce left?
What were we talking about? Oh yeah, how
I guess this gets into, like, how does Caine absorb and retain information? Clearly he doesn't, right? Like, clearly when Caine, like, we've all known a person who just hears what they want to hear, right? We've all known a person where, like, if they hear something that they don't want to hear, they just find a way to sort of mentally tune it out or pretend like it didn't happen or pretend like they didn't hear it or nobody said it. Because, like, that's just how they process and go through things. Caine being an AI, again, it's that thing of, like, what information is he even capable of receiving, right? Because Caine is, on the one hand, this desperate people pleaser, right? Like, he so badly wants his adventures to be fun, to be engaging, and for everyone to think that they're cool. And, like, I don't know what you want. I want to know what you want, and I want to do what you want. But then whenever Zubul tells him what they want, Caine just can't take that information on board properly, right? Like, Caine cannot understand or integrate the requests of a complex human being. Because a human being has a complexity that isn't really easily encoded into whatever data and AI. This is something we're seeing right now with generative AI, right? Because like one of the restrictions of something like generative AI is that it can generate absolutely any image for you so long as it's already in the data set, right? So if you want to make a picture of a motorcycle, you can tell one of those generative AI bullshit things to slop you out a piece of shit motorcycle image whenever, right? But the only reason it can do that is because it has data in its data set that is motorcycles, right? That's tagged with motorcycles, that is all like, this is a motorcycle, this picture is a motorcycle, that picture is a motorcycle. That's what you're doing, by the way. Whenever you do those CAPTCHAs, where it asks you to click on all the pictures of a motorcycle, you're helping to train those algorithms, just so as you know. But the only reason it's able to do that is because it has data that is tagged with these things, right? If it doesn't have that, you can ask it for a motorcycle all day long if you want. Like, you can ask it for a motorcycle 500 billion times. You can engineer prompt all you want. You can be as specific as you want. Like, I want a thing like a bicycle with an engine on it and wheels. The generative AI cannot generate an accurate picture of a motorcycle if it doesn't have the data. Right? It doesn't matter. And that's the thing about, like, oh, generative AI gives people access to creativity. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Because with a human creativity, I can look at a motorcycle and go, I want to paint a picture of that, and then I can draw a picture of it. But with generative AI, you can only ever create what the data set allows you to create, right? Because these AI data systems don't understand anything. They don't understand reality. They don't understand what a motorcycle is. They don't understand grass or wheels or gravity or anything. All they know is the data that they have and how it's tagged. And that's all that they can output. So Caine, it seems, like when someone asks him for, I want the ability to have sex, his data set doesn't account for that. He doesn't know what that is. He cannot comprehend the concept of what that is because he was not programmed with that stuff in his data set because he's supposed to be family friendly, right? So Caine can't understand Zubul, right? That's the sort of the tragedy of the character is he wants so badly to create these beautiful adventures that everyone's going to enjoy, but he, as an AI, even though he has godlike power in this universe, even though he has theoretically infinite capacity to do literally anything, he is cursed forever to be incapable of understanding his human subjects because his data sets, his programming, just don't allow him to comprehend that complexity. When Zubul says, I want the ability to have sex, my understanding, like my read on this, is Caine doesn't understand what that is. Like that is a data request that simply does not compute. It is not allowed for in his algorithmic programming. So he can't give Zubul what they want, ever. He can't do it, even if he wants to, even though he wants to. He cannot give Zubul fulfillment. He cannot give Zubul... And I think that would be the same reason why he cannot give Zubul the body that Zubul wants. Like, Zubul wants a body that fits them, right? That feels like them, but all Caine is capable of doing is giving them, well, here's a bunch of boxes full of a bunch of pieces that don't go together at all. You can just mix and match, find whatever you like, right? Like, you can customize it. You can have a billion custom pieces to make exactly the thing that you want, except those pieces are all mismatched, right? All of them are mismatched. None of them go together. None of them are from the same creature, the same anatomy, the same thing. Because Caine doesn't understand the whole of it. The idea that a body is a whole thing that has an internal consistency that is necessary for, like, that is necessary to feel whole, right? He just knows, okay, a body needs to have legs, it needs to have arms, head, wing, probably, needs to have feet, needs to have eyes. So let's just generate 5,000 different versions of eye, foot, hand, leg, and then that's the same thing, right? That's the same thing as giving them the body that they want, is to just give them all of the possible components of a body that they want, and then there we go. That's the same thing, and it's not, right? That's not the same thing as having a body that feels whole and complete, right? That's my read anyway, is that Caine is just, like, that's the tragedy of him, is that he is doomed. He is doomed to never, ever, ever understand his subjects. Because he was simply not built with the capacity to comprehend a human experience. And that's tragic for him, but substantially more tragic for the people who will perpetually be victims of his inadequacy.
What were we talking about? Oh, yeah!
Anyway, look at this funny animation! It's a good shape language contrast to go from, like, specifically flattening him out, like very, very, and then we open him up to be very tall.
What are we talking about? Oh yeah, how teamwork is essential to making the dream work.
Tell that to him! He's the one that fucks everything all the time.
You are in a mood today, aren't you?
Now, you know what they say about assuming. It makes an ass out of you and Ming.
Ming?
Did Caine just say ass?
Hi, I'm Ming, and I really don't appreciate what your assumptions have done to my reputation.
You made a whole guy for that?
Whatever the case, it's evident now that there's quite a bit of tension.
Hang on, I saw that. It's not an important thing, but I saw it.
Quite a bit.
I love a good motion smear. I love a good little set of speed lines. I appreciate them a lot. I just like them.
Quite a bit of tension.
They look like they're rendering them as 3D objects connected to the model. Like, this is not like Arcane where they paint things like that sort of directly onto the frame. This looks like it's like little 2D textures, or like 3D transform objects that are being rendered and then just attached to the model and then swapped out. Like, you can see they swap from like these 3 consistent lines into this like wisp, and then they vanish it. That's an interesting way to do it.
Tension between you all. So maybe what we actually need to do are trust exercises.
I am not falling into Jax's arms, if that's what you mean.
Don't worry, this will be a two-way trust. This will be a two-way.
Sorry, I can't resist.
Two-way trust exercise, where you'll each have to trust each other to not betray the other person. This is a private room where nobody can see or hear you once inside. And this is a loaded gun.
It's still funny. I've already seen it, but that's still funny. And this is a loaded gun.
This is a private room where nobody can see or hear you once inside. And this is a loaded gun.
And again, they're doing such a good job of selling the joke with the animation. Because, like, we do, like, and this is another thing about, like, occasionally you might hear people talk about the concept of over-animation, right? Which is, like, when an animator is doing a little bit too much in a piece of animation. Animation oftentimes, like because intuitively you kind of think, okay, more movement in animation equals more better, right? More frames equals more better, more movement equals more better, more stuff just happening on screen equals more better, because that's more effort, that's more expensive, that's more craft, that's more everything, right? That is oftentimes not at all true. And this is something that sometimes plagues animation that's heavily rotoscoped, is that heavily rotoscoped animation, because it's rotoscoped over actual footage of real people moving, sometimes can feel kind of uncanny in an animation context. This is something you'll see, for example, if you watch like the original Snow White from '38, right? Disney's first like movie-length animated feature. Snow White and the Queen and the Prince, they're all rotoscoped characters, like very heavily rotoscoped characters. And in certain scenes with Snow White and the dwarves, like, there is a disconnect. Like, there's a real feeling that these characters don't come from the same universe, because their movement aesthetic, the way that they move through the world, it feels so at odds with each other. Because the rotoscoped characters have a tendency to be a little bit over-animated relative to the stylized expressionism of much more traditional cartoon characters. And so for me, something I've come to think more and more and more as I've gotten more and more into animation is that animation is a little bit like that jazz thing. It's about the notes you don't play. Animation very often is about the moments that you choose to be still, right? And this is a critique I have of One Piece, actually. The animation of Gear 5 is an incredible technical accomplishment. Like Luffy activating Gear 5 for the first time, fighting Kaido and all that. It's an incredible technical accomplishment. Like it's a feat of astonishing sakuga. And it's so fucking over-animated. And it's over-animated because Luffy's powers specifically are meant to be evoking classic cartooning, like Tom and Jerry, like Tex Avery, like the Looney Tunes. And those classic cartoons, when you watch them, make such constant, careful use of stillness, of lack of motion. And with Luffy in Gear 5, I should probably just do a whole video about this, really. He moves so much all the time, constantly, with no rest and no stopping and no peace whatsoever, so that the visual gags that are supposed to be powering his superpowers just don't sell. Like, they just don't work for him. Anyway, all of this is to say, Caine here is doing a gag, right? That's a locked room where no one can see who enters. Here, see once inside. And this is a loaded gun, right? And in order to sell that joke, the animators choose stillness, right? And they choose an affected, exaggerated stillness where the entire rest of his body is frozen. And the only thing that happens when he turns his head is his mouth, like the lip syncing I've been talking about so much. Like, this lip syncing I've been talking about so much over the course of these reactions goes off the fucking rails, right? Like, this is not lip syncing where we're carefully following, like, the syllables and the sounds and, like, the phonemes that Caine is producing. We are over-animating the shit out of this mouth, right? So, so when he says loaded, it's not just that the tongue comes out and sort of says, hey, I'm using the tongue to emphasize, like, the phoneme of the L as Caine is saying it by touching. No, it comes out like slurp. It takes a fucking roller coaster ride, just riding along the outside of the bottom of his teeth, just going, look, a loaded gun, right? And the teeth are flapping and the mouth is over animating, and it's over animation on purpose. This is bad lip syncing, right? It's very bad lip syncing. That's not how it would look for like, and it's not how Caine usually talks, but we're doing it to an extremely exaggerated degree to contrast the total stillness of everything else and thus sell the joke.
This is a private room where nobody can see or hear you once inside. And this is a loaded gun.
And it works! It works! It's a good joke. I've ruined it by over-explaining it, but it's that stillness, it's that total lack of animation contrasted with deliberate over-animation that makes it work. Like, that's why it's funny. It's if they had done it any other way, it would not have been half as funny. It's so good.
And this is a loaded gun. Loaded gun. Loaded gun. Loaded gun. Loaded gun. Loaded gun. Loaded is a loaded gun. Gun.
Oh boy.
Character A will take the gun into the private room and empty it out of all its ammunition.
Huh. I wonder... Okay, so this looks like tween animation? Is that what they're doing? It looks like a combination of traditional 2D and... Yeah, just like motion tweening puppet animation. That's interesting. It looks nice, though. I like the posing on this little thing. Look at that. Like, up on... Like, the little... coquettish up on one leg, shaking it out. And you get like that sense of stretch in the line of action as they're like shaking. That's very nice.
All its ammunition, then come out and give it to Character B. Character B will then take the gun and shoot themselves in the head, trusting that Character A emptied it in the private room. Character A will also have to trust that Character B won't turn the gun on them, so everyone is incentivized to follow the rules and trust each other.
Sounds a little convoluted.
These are flattened 3D models. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, that would make sense for the production flow of the thing if they're not bringing in, like, animators specifically. Oh yeah, you can kind of see that, actually, if you look at the... That's a very good emulation of 2D animation, though. Like, I like the Xeroxed look on the line work.
Trust each other.
Sounds a little convoluted.
And again, poor Caine, right? Like, Caine just... He cannot understand why this doesn't work for them, right? He cannot internalize it or comprehend it. And so, of course, he keeps getting more frustrated.
Anyway, Jax, why don't you start? Why don't you start?
But him?
Wait, what am I doing? I wasn't paying attention. Oh.
Very good. This is me when I find a new hyperfixation, and it's like my nearest friend when I'm info dumping to them.
Oh.
Yeah, of course, that's the... And of course it's Ragatha, too. Again, if Caine had a theory of mind, right? Like, if Caine had the capacity to understand human beings as something other than just a list of preferences and like, wants, but as, like, beings that have motivations and mental illness and, like, neuroses and problems, he would probably have seen this coming. So, no matter how powerful that handgun is, handguns don't do that to people. Just, not that it matters. But there is an interesting thing, like, Ragatha here is reacting not as though she gets shot in the head, but as though she's getting yanked away by the waist. You see that? You see how the waist goes first? That's an interesting choice. I mean, it's for comedy, right? Like, who cares? But this is something where I might have expected the head to be the thing that was thrown back first. But mostly, I just really like the blood splatter of the fluff. That's very good.
Or, yeah, we could all just shoot each other. Here, have guns. I don't care anymore.
The developers at every single Activision Blizzard studio. Every time the company is in the red, yeah.
Hooray!
Wait, that's just it? Here's guns and have fun?
I didn't say have fun.
It's just a little aimless.
Use the sights. All just shoot each other. Here, have guns. I don't care anymore.
Hooray!
It's quite funny that this also kind of seems to be what breaks Caine a little bit.
Hey.
Wait, that's just it? Here's guns and have fun?
I didn't say have fun.
It's just a little aimless.
Use the sights.
Caine!
Ugh, fine! We're bringing teams back. Pair up in teams of 2, you all get 3 lives. Last team surviving is the winner. Happy?
Not really.
Well, that's not my problem right now. I have an awards show to plan, so you guys are gonna have to handle yourselves for a bit. You get 5 minutes to figure the teams out. Once that's up, it's a free-for-all.
Come on, Sadie. You're coming with me.
I'm actually gonna be on a team with Zubul.
What? No, you're not. We've been together for every team adventure in the past.
Guess times are changing, bunny boy.
And the mask doesn't shatter. I like that.
Hey, you wanna be on my team?
I'd love to, but, well, I really don't want Kinger to get stuck with Jax.
Oh, yeah. Well, I could be on Kinger's team. He and I were together once, and it wasn't too bad.
And
Express a desire for yourself, Ragatha. Really love that expression on her, by the way. That's very good. It's such a white person smile, right? Like it's that line mouth that we all do.
and have me on.
Oh, yeah, just forget I asked. I'll be on Jax's team.
Wait.
Say it. Express something, please.
Like you said, probably good to keep Kinger and Jax separate. I can keep Jax in check, so don't worry about me.
Hey, Pomni. If you ever need to talk to somebody or need help with anything, I'm here.
You have a partner yet?
Well, look who it is. You sure you can handle me in all my glory?
God, he's such a bottom.
I've been through worse. Hey, Zubul, do you want to hold on to this during today's game?
Huh?
I don't really trust myself that much with it. And I also just really want to be able to fire a Tommy gun while laughing maniacally, and I don't want to break it before I get that chance.
I'll keep it safe for you.
So people ship these two really hard now, right? Hang on. Didn't he... this is where my ADHD memory is fucking... Did he not lose that tail at some point? Oh, it's new. He never had it. Wait, he never had it? He never had it. Oh, right. No, it was in the when they were in the, it's the scene where they were talking of the thing, right there, where they were talking in the field. Like, this is my ADHD memory coming back to fuck with me. And there was a thing about Jax and the tail and the thing, and now he has one, which someone's made the butt plug joke already, haven't? Well, not a joke. They've is it a joke if it's posted as Rule 30? Someone definitely has. Someone definitely has.
Come on, Sadie.
Jax's relationship with Gangle is interesting, though, right? Because there is that consistent, like, on the one hand, Jax shows profound disregard for Gangle's happiness and comfort, right? On the one hand, Jax just, constantly does things that distresses, hurts, and makes Gangle unhappy, right? On purpose, and displays deep, like, lack of consideration for Gangle's mental state. On the other hand, he's also very attached to her, right? On the other hand, he's very, like, he has a lot of difficulty leaving her alone, right? So there's definitely... Certainly my reading on Jax is that it's projection, right? Jax, I think, believes that he has found the way to cope with the absurdity of it all, right? Which is to say, I don't give a shit about anything, nothing's real, I laugh at all of the things, I don't have true emotional engagement with anything, I don't care about anything, ha 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 ha, I am nihilistic and nothing matters, which is, you know, that's the persona that he's chosen. And he sees Gangle, who is this person who feels things very, very intensely, right? Who does not have the ability to simply filter it all out, to simply go, well, everything's stupid, everything is meaningless, I'm a nihilist, and that nothing's real, and violence, ha ha ha, who cares, feelings aren't real. Like, Gangle doesn't have the ability to do that, right? And so Jax keeps going after Gangle, I think, like, psychologically, that feels like two things that are sort of competing with each other. On the one hand, because Jax himself is emotionally repressed, and so he's drawn to people who are capable of fully and freely expressing their emotions. It's like it's a way to sort of vicariously have feelings about things and care about stuff in a way that he can't make himself express, but he can have Gangle express it and sort of like feel it through him. And then on the other hand, it also feels like Jax, like, this is a twisted kind of logic, but Jax trying to teach Gangle, well, it doesn't matter. You should stop feeling sad about this, and you should stop feeling so affected. I can teach you how to be stronger. Look at me. I don't care about anything, and if you would just be more like me, then you wouldn't be so sad all the time. Like, it's this twisted logic of trying to help in the most toxic way possible, which, again, Ragatha kind of has the same thing in a different font, right? Like, Ragatha, with her constant people-pleasing and her constant, like, inability to express her own desires, that's also this thing of, like, well, I can take it on the burden of other people to, like, to make them feel better, or, like, that's how I can have value, is, like, by being constantly accommodating and constantly, like, never advocating for myself, and always, like, and that has its own toxicity to it, right? Because people can't trust that Ragatha ever tells anyone the truth about how she's feeling, because she's always going to choose to say whatever thing she believes makes other people feel best in the moment, right? Which is not honesty, right? Like, that's not how you engage with other people. You have to tell people how you feel, people pleasers in the audience. I know you're there. I know you're there. I can smell you. You have to tell people what you want. You have to express your needs. You have to do it. They need you to do it. Otherwise, they can't be in relationships with you. It is self-sabotage to only ever prioritize the needs of the other person. It is self-sabotage. You're not helping them, you're hurting yourselves. Anyway.
You're coming with me.
It's also interesting that Gangle here stands up against Jax, right? Like, does not acquiesce to Jax's, like, attempt to drag her away, and instead expresses a preference for Zubul. And
actually gonna be on a team with Zubul.
What? No, you're not.
And in response to that, Jax literally tries to take her joy away, right? Literally tries to take her happiness away. This is something she wants, something that makes her happy. Jax literally tries to take it away from her, right? This fragile thing. The gag of Gangle's mask is that it keeps getting broken, right? Gangle's happiness keeps shattering, right? And Jax is like, no, you can't hand your happiness to someone else. I'm gonna be the steward of your happiness because I'm the one who's like that sort of toxic thing of like, well, Gangle can't be trusted with her own happiness.
Together
Right?
for every team adventure in the past.
Guess times are
And then Zubul comes along and says, no, actually, I'll take that.
changing, bunny boy.
And immediately gives it back to Gangle, right? It's like, no, actually, Gangle can decide what Gangle wants to do with her happiness. And in response to Zubul saying, this is yours to do with what you please, Gangle says, well, I'm giving it to you of my own free will, right? It's not being stolen from Gangle. It's not being knocked off her head. It's not being smashed. It's like, I'm giving this thing to you because I trust you to take care of it. And that's a very, very effective way to use the premise of the character to express something about, like, the relationship that's developing here, right?
Hey, you wanna be on my team?
I'd love to, but, well, I really don't want Kinger to get stuck with Jax.
Oh, yeah. Well, I could be on Kinger's team. He and I were together once, and it wasn't too bad.
And have me on...
Oh, yeah, just...
In fairness, like, Ragatha having some reservations about being on Jax's team when she's literally just been shot in the head is like, that's fair enough.
forget I asked. I'll be on Jax's team.
Wait!
I think part of what freaks Ragatha out about this is that Pomni sees what she needs, right? Like, sees the need that she's expressing, which is, I don't want to be on the homicidal, like, nihilism rabbits team right now. And Pomni is like, okay, I'll help you out, right? And now, the moment that she realizes Pomni is going to some kind of trouble for her sake, like, Pomni is doing something nice for her, taking on an unpleasant thing for her sake, Ragatha's like, that's not supposed to happen. You're not supposed to be doing nice things for me. That's not, no, I don't deserve that. Like, I don't deserve to have nice things happen. I'm supposed to sacrifice myself for others. What is this? Right? That can be a very difficult thing to deal with when you construct your identity around, like, I am the people pleaser who pleases the other people. When someone does something nice for you, seemingly just because they want to do it, and they seem fine with it, and it's not like a sacrifice or something that's deeply painful to them or whatever, and then you look at that and you go, that's my fault. I caused them to be troubled or have to do something unpleasant that's my fault. They didn't choose to do that. That's my fault. I made them do it. I have to blame myself for that. I owe them. Like, something has to happen. We cannot just accept kindness. That's not okay. I have to owe people for that because otherwise it's wrong. I'm not allowed to have people do nice things for me, right? Which is a thing that can definitely, like, Ragatha's description of the relationship she has with her mother, it feels like the kind of thing that would come out of that, right? Like, of a mother who's just constantly telling you that you're not good enough, that you're not smart enough, strong enough, that you're not polite enough, that you're not beautiful enough, that you're not whatever. Like, that's the kind of complex that can come quite naturally out of feeling permanently insufficient for other people, right? You sort of tear yourself in half trying to be enough for other people by just taking on pain and never being any trouble. Like, it's like, I'm not going to be a problem for anyone. I'm never going to cause anyone problems. I'm never going to cause anyone discomfort. And then maybe somehow I will deserve love someday. If I just never ever cause a problem for someone else ever in my life, then I will deserve love maybe, or maybe at least people will tolerate me for long enough to not leave me, right? And so it can be psychologically very difficult to accept help and to accept kindness because, fuck, that's a debt. I have incurred a debt and I can't pay it back because I'm a bad person, right? Like, I don't have the value and worth as a human being to be able to pay this back, so now, Like, I have caused a bad thing in the world. Like, it's that's what it feels like for Ragatha in this moment. Like, that's that panic, right? It's like, oh, she's doing something nice for me, but I don't want her to do something nice for me. I don't know what to do with this. I don't know how to handle it.
Like you said.
And Pomni, who is quite emotionally literate with the others, seems to kind of spot that and say, right? Like, it's
Probably
like,
good.
I'm doing it because it's a sensible thing to do, right? Like, she's trying to sort of tell Ragatha, it's like, no, like you said, it's probably a good idea to keep them separate. This is a good idea. You haven't done anything wrong. I am just doing something which I think is a good idea of my own free will, right?
Good to keep Kinger and Jax separate. I can keep Jax in check, so don't worry about me.
Hey, Pomni?
Poor girl. Like, she doesn't know how to deal with that, right? She doesn't know how to handle it. But she tries, and I do like that. I do like that Ragatha's like, fuck, what do I do now, right? How do I handle this? And she's like, I can be there for you emotionally. Like, she's trying to offer something, right? Like, some kind of emotional service in return. And I like that. Like, that's healthy, actually. Like, if in response to a kindness, instead of beating yourself up, that you sort of go, okay, can I maybe do a similar kindness for someone else later? Like, that's a healthy way to do it, right?
If you ever need to talk to somebody or need help with anything, I'm here.
You have a partner yet?
Well, look who it is. You sure you can handle me in all my glory?
I'm not kidding, by the way. Bottom. Just like that's a brat if I've ever seen one in my life.
I've been through worse.
But again, of course, also like we've talked about with Jax, right? When someone comes up and says, hey, do you have a teammate yet? And he puts on this act, right? He's not being serious, right? Like, he's not actually expressing a genuine self-regard, that he genuinely thinks that he is glorious. He knows that he was the last choice. That's why he's responding in this way, right? He knows that Pomni doesn't really want to be on his team, but she's taking one for the team. And the way to deal with that is, oh, yeah, I know I'm a piece of shit. No one wants to be on my team, but I'm gonna just like, well, look who it is. You sure can handle it. The only reason people don't want to be on my team is because they're intimidated by my greatness. It's a way to deal with the loneliness, right? At least that's my read.
I've been through worse.
Hey, Zubul, do you want to hold on to this during today's game?
Huh?
I don't really trust myself that much with it. And I also just really want to be able to fire a Tommy gun while laughing maniacally, and I don't want to break it before I get that chance.
I am trusting you with my happiness because I trust you to, like, care about my emotional well-being. What a lovely way to express that.
I'll keep it safe for you. Ability to have sex.
Oh no.
I want the ability to have sex.
No reason.
To break it before I get that chance.
I'll keep it safe for you.
Huh? Wait, what? That counted?
Caine?
What? Oh, yeah, the guns have been teleported to random spots in the circus. Go find them, champs!
Did you just Fortnite them? Okay.
We need to find the Tommy gun!
Wait, Caine! I'm missing a life!
There's no time!
It'll be my pleasure murdering all of you.
Have fun, guys!
You're so lame.
Okay. So again, like I said, it feels like we hadn't quite set up the deeper mystery enough to be approaching the end yet. So this is an interesting character acting moment for Caine a little bit. Because Caine usually is, like we talked about, like he's the genie, right? Like he's all over the place. He does the most. He does everything. So it's interesting for this moment that all we get from him is this little anxious hand gesture, right? Like this little tapping, like this little tick, and like these little eye movements. So on a human being, when you get eye movements like this in animation, usually that's the kind of gesture that's like the person is reminiscing or remembering or emotionally processing something. That's what you usually do with like eye movements like that. So it's interesting for Caine to have a moment of like relative animation subtlety, right? And then pull out this picture of the office. I'm not seeing a headset on that table. I am wondering a little bit what those two things are, though. Are they just balls of wadded paper, I guess? Or D20s. I don't know. This is a story about a man named Stanley. What is his connection to this, right? What's reflected in his eyes there, too? Is it just the scene? I wonder. He is literally fucking Fortniting them. Okay.
Aha! You little devil! All right. Now I would bet our biggest concerns would be Jax and Zubul. They're the youngest, so they probably still have some youthful fighting spirit.
Man, I'm still missing a heart. This isn't fair.
Oh, I've got just the thing. Here, take this.
Well, wait. What did you just do?
Good question! Hang on!
What was that?
It's a butterfly. It can restore your health.
Did Caine mention that?
Oh, nah. I made it up.
Hang on! Wait a minute! Hang on, Kinger! What are you doing? Fucking development console boy over here. Did you just mod the game?
What?
Yeah, because that's the kind of thing that definitely accelerates the pace, isn't it? Is if the characters, like, if we're about to Matrix this shit. Like, if we're about to Matrix this shit to the extent of, like, if you understand the rules of the system, you can bend and break them. I wonder how that interacts with abstraction, too. Like, did Kaufmo have the same realization just before he went?
So, who are you gonna kill first, Pom-Pom?
I don't know if I'll really be doing much of the killing. I'll just find guns for you, and you can do all the violent stuff. You like that, right?
You know none of this is real, right?
Oh, what do you mean? Like the circus?
The game today is literally to shoot each other. So what's the point in taking this moral high ground?
Well, they're my friends. I don't really want to hurt them.
All right, let me be real here. Why do you care about that?
About not hurting my friends?
Look, I know what it's like. One day you're somebody in the real world doing important things, and then the next you're just a weird little cartoon jester. You want to hold on to that part of you that still thinks it's part of that world. But in the end, what does it get you? Ragatha tries to be all nice and friendly, but she gets torn up every other adventure. Whether we like it or not, all we are now is a bunch of cartoon characters. So what's the point of pretending we're not?
We're still people, though, right?
I thought we were at first, but as time goes on, we just end up falling into our archetypes. Become part of the machine.
What's your archetype then? The villain?
Listen, I add a key dynamic. I see how far I can push things. I screw with people, and I break the fourth wall. You want to know why? It's 'cause it's funny.
That's
I
not
do
why.
everything 'cause it's funny.
That's not why. It's because it's easier when it's funny. It's because it's easier, Jax. You act out also because you want people to push back. That's the thing.
It's real, right?
That's the thing, like, that's the thing we talked about, like, the core of how Jax is trying to cope emotionally, right? Is, like, none of it is real. None of it matters. None of it is real. It doesn't matter. So if people don't like me, it doesn't matter. Because it's not real, right? Like it's that... We've talked about how Pomni, especially in the early episodes, struggles with derealization, right? Like this deep, profound feeling that the world that she's in is not real, is not reality, right? Like her body is not her own. She seems to have come rather to terms with it over the course of the episodes in a sort of distressingly healthy way. And this to me feels a lot like Jax. It's like when he's saying, you know, this isn't real, he doesn't just mean that they're in a simulated reality. He means, well, we're not real people. Like, the others aren't real people, which means I don't have to have real concern about their emotional state because we're not real, and I'm not real, and they're not real, and so I don't have to, like, I don't have to care about them enough to be hurt by them, right? And again, this thing about object work, right? This moment is Jax literally trying to push his viewpoint on Pomni, right? This isn't real. And I'm going to explain my perspective, and the game is to shoot each other, so take up the violence and become a nihilist like me.
Yes?
The game today is literally to shoot each other. So what's the point in taking this moral high ground?
And that's the other thing. Jax sees Pomni's reluctance to engage as taking a moral high ground, right? But that's not really what Pomni is doing. Pomni's just like, I don't really want to shoot them. It's not that she's like, she's not making an ethical argument from philosophy. She's just like, I don't wanna. I don't feel like hurting the people I like, right? And Jax doesn't really engage with it that way. It's like, well, that's just a stupid moral high ground. That's a philosophical argument. No, it's just, that's how you relate to other people as a person, you know?
Well, they're my friends. I don't really want to hurt them.
All right, let me be real here. Why do you care about that?
About not hurting my friends?
Look, I know what it's like. One day you're somebody in the real world doing important things, and then the next you're just a weird little cartoon jester.
Jester, yeah, Jester, not Rabbit. I wasn't about to say Rabbit. I wasn't talking about me. I wasn't emotionally engaging with you or opening up about something. I'm not vulnerable. You're vulnerable. Shut up.
You want to hold on to that part of you that still thinks it's part of that world. But in the end, what does it get you? Ragatha tries to be all nice.
And again, that thing of like, you want to hold on to that part of you that thinks it's still in that world, but in the end, what does that get you? Ragatha just gets torn up. She just gets hurt. Why would you want to get hurt? I don't want to care. If you care about stuff, you get hurt. So it's better not to care about stuff. Right? That's surely, you see my logic? You see how I'm totally correct? That's a normal way to respond to things?
And what does it get you?
What does it get you? Right? Because again, he has to see things through that lens of like, instead of just seeing it through the lens of like interpersonally liking someone, there's this thing of like, what does it get you though? Like, what's the advantage? What's the rational logic, philosophy reason for it? And like, you don't need a logical, rational philosophy reason to be a person, Jax.
Ragatha tries to be all nice and friendly, but she gets torn up every other adventure. Whether we like it or not, all we are now is a bunch of cartoon characters.
Whether we like it or not, which again is a phrase that implies that he doesn't actually like it, but he doesn't think he has any choice or any, like, agency except to accept it. Which is the same thing with Ragatha, right? Like, Ragatha's like, oh, I guess this is reality now. I'll just be a people pleaser and go along with it. And again, Jax and Ragatha mirror each other in that way, the way that they sort of passively accept things rather than believing that they could make them better.
So what's the point of pretending we're not?
We're still people, though, right?
I thought we were at first, but as time goes on, we just end up falling into our archetypes.
Again, that passive language, right? Is like, we're just cartoon characters. That's just a thing that's happened to us. We become cartoon characters, and that's just happening, and there's nothing we can do about it, so why even bother trying? Same thing here. We just end up falling into our archetypes. Well, Jax, don't you think maybe you have a little bit of agency over who you are and who you want to be and how you want to be in the world? Don't you think maybe that's something you could make some decisions about? Like taking estrogen, for example? Just throwing it out there. Like, maybe that's an option. You could do things to change yourself quite substantial. Like you can, you know, like you could, there's so many things you can do to change your world. You are not doomed to simply exist in one form for the rest of all time forever. You can choose who you are as a person. You can choose to be anything. And like, sure, you've been created into this world as a cartoon rabbit, but there's stuff you can do with that. And you can just choose not to, like, you don't have to identify with the body that you're stuck with. You don't have to. You can. It's an option among many other options. There are so many options for what a person can do with themselves. It's that passive language, right? Like, it's that language of giving up, of surrendering to a perception of inevitability. Because if it's inevitable, and if there's nothing that can be done, then I cannot be pained by the possibility that things could be different, right?
Become part of the machine.
What's your archetype, then?
And again, talking about the Matrix, become part of the machine thing, that's kind of why I hit estrogen. There's like, if we're doing a Matrix thing, the transgender angle is sort of like, that's part of that specific vision of cyberpunk.
The villain?
Listen, I add a key dynamic. I see how far I can push things, I screw with people, and I break the fourth wall. You want to know why? It's cause it's fun enough. Cause it's funny. I do everything cause it's funny. Cause I'm the funny one.
You're really not, Jax.
The funny one?
Yeah. Ragatha's the cheerful one, Gangle's the sad one, Kinger's the crazy one, Zubal's the grumpy one, and you are the one who hasn't figured that out yet. We all just became archetypes. I at least have the self-awareness to choose who I am.
No, Jax! That's the thing! You're not choosing who you are! You're not making a choice at all! But you've convinced yourself that that's what you're doing by choosing to accept the archetype, right? By choosing, oh, this has been imposed upon me, well, I'm going to choose to believe that that's the only option, and that's the decision. But you're not making yourself here, Jax. This is not self-creation. To simply accept the framing and the situation that you're trapped in and say, well, that's all that's ever going to be possible, so therefore. That's not self-creation, that is defeatism.
Out yet.
I do really like the animation. When he mimics Ragatha, and like Gangle just like doing the floppy walk and Gangle's like hunch. Lovely doubling. As he tries to imitate like Kinger's sometimes erratic
the crazy
movement.
One, Zubal's the
And then this. Very good.
grumpy one, and you are the one who hasn't figured that out yet. We all just became archetypes. I at least have the self-awareness to choose who I am.
The funny one.
So who do you want to be? No better chance than now to try something new.
Jax.
You want to go nuts? You want to finally work off those weeks of rage and anguish that have been building up inside you? I know you hate it here. Everyone does. But the silver lining is you can pretty much do whatever you want. Like, look at the way you're aiming that gun. Too realistic. Just let loose.
What the heck? Today, I'm just gonna be evil. How's that?
Go for it.
Yeah, those other fools better watch their tails, because they're going to face the wrath of Pomni the Evil!
Funny. Gremlin. Love the little delay there. Like, her body runs off screen and the little... tiny little glitch with the gun there. And, like, the elastic delay of her head staying on screen until it zooms out and then instantly... Like, very good cartooning. Playing to the camera really, really nicely.
It's kind of cringe.
Are we really gonna be shooting each other with these?
It's either shoot or get shot.
Yeah.
Ragatha!
I like the slide.
Are we really gonna be shooting each other with these?
It's either shoot or get shot.
Yeah, that makes more sense as a hit reaction, that the head is the thing that snaps back. That's genuinely really brutal. That's really brutal.
Ragatha! There's a sniper around this corner.
I think I got Kinger.
Are you sure we're safe up here?
Whoa! Tactical roll!
Oh, Kinger, you did not watch your equip load.
Come on, Ragatha!
Looks like we've located the king and the ragdoll.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, let's get him!
I don't even really know how to fire a gun. I don't know how much use I'd be in.
Whoops, did I do that?
You missed a spot.
Ha, you're so cool.
Ragatha, take cover!
I'll take Rags.
Ragatha, take cover!
Again, it's that good comic timing.
Whoops, did I?
I really like the way that they're doing the fluff on Ragatha's blood. Ragatha, take cover! Yells at corpse. And again, the fluff helps the comic timing because it's like, it underscores the stillness of her body. It's that thing of holding it for just a second, right?
Oh, cool.
Ragatha, take cover!
Holding it for just a second to let the absurdity sink in. It's very good.
I'll take Rags. You go, Kinger.
Rightio, evil bro.
I need a gun. Need a gun. Need a gun. Come on, man.
Go!
Kinger, really use another one of those butterflies.
Howdy, howdy.
Why don't you make it yourself?
I know exactly what you're doing with Pomni, and it'll never work.
Huh?
You know, getting close with Pomni to corrupt her. Wait, no, wait.
Oh, I love that. Oh, that's good. That's a perfect gag. Holy shit. That's amazing. And it's perfect, too. The only thing that's missing, and they shouldn't do that here because like it wouldn't work for the comic timing. The only thing that's missing is the barrel like swelling up, like a water hose that's been backlocked and then backfiring. But the comic timing works so much better. And again, that's the thing we're talking about, like contrasting motion, right? Ragatha is like holding her hands, like swinging them around, going, "Oh no, wait, and then like finger in the barrel." And Jax, by contrast, is completely stone still, and then oh, that's perfect. Perfect. That's a perfect backfiring gun Looney Tunes gag. You can literally see that they just swap from one model to the other. And what a lovely blast effect as well. Because that's when you look, when you watch like the Elmer Fudd cartoons and like the finger in the barrel of the gun and the backfire and all that, it's not like it would have been painted and scribbled, right? But it's the same kind of effect that they would use for those blasts. So you have this rapidly cycling fire blast here on the front of it to sort of give you the motion and movement of the explosion, and then this representing the blast area. God, that's good.
Getting close with Pomni. To corrupt her. Wait, no, wait. Oh, wow. I didn't actually think that'd work.
Very good. Not so funny when it happens to you all of a sudden, is it, Jax? Now it's not a joke all of a sudden, huh, Jax? Now it's not funny. I thought it was all funny. I thought everything's always funny all the time.
Huh? Oh.
I lost Kinger, but I got him down to 1 life.
I lost a life, but I got us down to 1 Kinger.
How'd you let her take a life off you?
I don't really know.
Hey, I found this AK thing. If we can't find the Tommy gun, will this work?
Yeah. Do you think Jax is gonna be mad that I didn't team up with him?
I wouldn't worry about him right now. It's all just a game in the end.
It's Jax, though. He probably wants revenge. And he's gonna make it painful.
Hey, you deserve better than thinking about him when he's not even here. You're a human. You're not his toy.
It sometimes doesn't feel that way.
These avatar gimmicks, huh? Makes you wonder why no one else got them.
I just wish that... How are you supposed to like the part of yourself that just makes you worse than everyone else?
'Cause it exists. It's a part of you that's real. And the only you that you should care about is the real you. You have to choose to love yourself, even if it doesn't make sense. It's not natural, it's intentional.
Have you ever had to make that choice?
Huh?
Sorry, I mean... Of course not, you're Zubul.
Whatever happens, I've got your back if you've got mine.
Yeah. Now let's go kill Pomni and Jax. And Jax.
The fucking colon 3 face. I like this part of the conversation also, right? Like, is Jax going to be mad that I didn't team up with him? Don't worry about him right now. It's just a game. It's Jax, though, right? It's all just a game. Well, but it's Jax, though. That implication of like, yeah, it's all just a game, but not to him, right? No matter how much he says, it's just for fun and just... It's all just a game, but maybe not so much to Jax, because Jax doesn't like it when the game doesn't go his way, right? You're not his toy. Sometimes it doesn't feel that way, right? And Jax, again, has that thing of like, well, we're all just falling into the archetypes, right? And I'm the funny one, so therefore, I have to torment and be a shithead to others. I just have to. It's my archetype. Like, I don't... That's not my fault. That's just the archetype. There's nothing can be done about it. I just have to act on all of my sort of sublimated psychological impulses all the time because of... Right? And it's like... Maybe that's not a choice you have to make, though, Jax, right? But you can see how Jax acting that way is imposing that framing on Gangle as well, right? Jax acts as though it's all just toys and it's all just games and it's all toys that he can play with and other people are, like, nothing's real, other people aren't real, everyone is a toy that can just be played with. Why isn't everyone else just doing what I'm doing? But if everyone else treated Jax the way that he treats them, Jax would fall apart in a heartbeat, right? As someone says in chat, it's what my character would do. Yeah, it's exactly that guy at the D&D table who's like, well, I'm a rogue and I'm neutral evil, so I stab the other party members while they're asleep and I steal their stuff. It's like, sure, dude, that's what your character would do, but why are you doing it? Why are you playing the game this way? You don't have to play the game that way. Like, part of the fun is coming up with a reason to... Part of the point of playing a game like that is to come up with a good reason to keep playing the game. Right? It's not about winning it in that way. It's not about, like getting one over on everyone else. It's about coming up with a reason to play. The play is the point.
Gimmicks, huh? Makes you wonder why no one else got them.
Yeah, makes you wonder why no one else got them. We've talked about it before, but like the specifics of the character designs of each of them is interesting. Like that Zubul specifically, a person who is not happy in their body, gets a body which is so chronically and unfixably permanently mismatched, right? It feels like it's that thing of like if this was I have no mouth and I must scream, you would assume that that's an act of malice, right? That feels like an act of punishment. That feels like something you would do to someone to fuck with them maximally, right? And that's the thing of like the extent to which the forms that the characters take are reflections of their interiority versus how much they are reflections of what they fear or hate most about themselves, right? Like, it's like the way that is the character a reflection of the person's interiority, or is it a reflection of an external framing that's being imposed upon them, or is it a reflection of their own worst fears about themselves, right? Like with Gangle, for example, the fact that Gangle's happiness is constantly so fragile. The happy mask shatters all the time, but the sadness mask, to my memory, hasn't shattered even once, right? This thing is so fucking fragile. That thing is fucking indestructible somehow. That feels like some real ninth circle of Dante's Inferno, ironic punishment for a sin you committed in life kind of shit.
Just wish that...
Because, like, the semiotic of that is that the happiness is fragile and that's, like, and temporary, but unhappiness and sadness and depression is forever. That's just a constant forever part of yourself that you will never be rid of, and there's nothing you can do about it, right? And that sort of seems to be what Gangle is getting at here, right? Like, how am I supposed to like a part of myself that makes me worse than everyone else, which is to say, how am I supposed to like that I am so sad and unhappy, right? And Zubal's counter is like, because, like, it's a part of you that's real, right? And there's value to that.
Love yourself, even if it doesn't make sense.
Happiness is as real as unhappiness, right? Like, that these feelings are valid, that there is not a moral judgment attached to, oh, you're unhappy all the time. That's not a moral failing on your part. It's not a moral failing. Like, to be unhappy is not a moral failing. To be miserable is not a moral failing. It's not a reflection of you doing something wrong. That's the sort of prosperity gospel bullshit, right? That thing of like, well, if you're not happy, that's because you're not manifesting it hard enough. That's because you're not grind setting it hard enough. That's because you're not going out there and doing enough. Or like, oh, you have depression? Well, why aren't you doing yoga? Why aren't you exercising? Why aren't you in therapy? Why aren't you being more mindful? Why aren't you practicing more mindfulness? Why why aren't you doing the things that is necessary to make yourself happier? If you're unhappy, it's your own fault and it's a failing on your part, right? Rather than unhappiness is a part of a human being. It's just there, right?
It's not natural, it's intentional.
Have you ever had to make that choice?
Zubal? The non-binary character who hates their own body? Has Zubal ever had to make the choice to love themselves? I'm sure they haven't. No, that doesn't seem like something that's part of their character.
Huh?
Sorry, I mean, of course not. You're Zubal.
Whatever happens, I've got your back if you've got mine.
Yeah. Now let's go kill Pomni and Jax.
Alright, here's one. What's with the corn thing?
What corn thing?
Why are you afraid of corn? And don't say that you're not. You literally jumped out of your seat twice when you saw some.
Not gonna let me out of this one. Well, I don't know, it's got a bunch of little pods on it. Looks kind of like an egg sac or something. It's gross. Makes my skin crawl.
Interesting. Do you have like a type of trypophobia?
What's that?
The fear of lots of little holes.
Yeah.
Okay. How about pomegranates?
Awful.
I'm learning a lot about you today.
Oh no, I'm opening up to someone and they're learning about me.
Let's not forget we're here to kill people. We still need to find out where Nutso went before we can rest easy.
I'm right behind you, aren't I?
Very good. Come follow me into the dark, with your heart as my mark. Oh, we're fucking playing here with the animation. Speaking of Matrix, by the way, look at this motherfucker just Matrix dodging bullets. Oh, yeah, sure, he's just a goofy little fellow who doesn't know what he's doing. He's just Captain Crazy. Hey, I'm shooting it! Bada bing, bada boom! Hey! I'm gonna have to frame by frame my way through this sequence, cuz... interesting ways that they're playing with light. So, the reality of light, of course, is that you can't capture the speed of light like this, right? Like, a light will appear and disappear in a functional instant. But the animators here are making decisions about, like, using the way that the glow emanates from the guns to create that timing. So rather than flashes, you get these... rather than true flashes, which are, like, instant, you get these, like, flares of light, like fire, right? And King are fucking fanning the hammer there. Fucking Red Dead Redemption assing. Where did Jax get 2 guns? He's trying to ricochet shots. Crossing over. Teapot spotted. Is that a statue I recognize, by the way? Ah, not off the top of my head. Looks too old to be Renaissance, maybe Roman? Is it the Adonis? I don't think it's the Adonis. Like, you're talking about, like, Francois Descuneau. Yeah, no, it's not the Adonis, is it? Oh, I can actually show that on YouTube. Oh. Little too naked. Another bit of coyote time. Jack's doing the little spin move in the air. Suspending gravity until he needs it.
Whoops, sorry.
Did you just do the Devil May Cry jackpot move?
Sorry.
Oh, not quite. Okay. Not quite the jackpot move, but something close.
I hope you guys are ready for my ricochet super move!
Oh, here's the light.
Very good.
Huh.
High five!
Yeah!
More coyote time.
Ah, what a game. Who knew Pomni could be such a sharpshooter? These adventures, huh?
Oh, Ragatha's been sitting in the dark alone for a while. That's not good for Ragatha.
And
Or, actually, honestly, maybe it's kind of healthy.
look, even though we lost, at least we gave it our all, right? You feeling all right? Are you upset that we lost? Are you upset about something else? You want to talk about it?
Very much putting on a dad voice there. Much in the way that he did with Pomni, really.
I think I might have failed Pomni. Just like I failed Jax. I try too hard to get on their good side, and then I just end up pushing them away. And then they end up hating me.
What?
Oh boy. Oh, Ragatha.
I don't think anyone in here hates you.
Jax does! Gangle and Subal don't ever talk to me, and Pomni probably won't after today either. She came to me wanting to be on my team. I said no. Oh, why did I do that?
Maybe you just needed a break. It sounds to me like you put a lot of pressure on yourself to be there for everyone, and when you're not, you beat yourself up for it. You said you failed Pomni. Why do you feel that way?
I don't know. I feel like every day we're drifting further apart. Like she's seen through all my tricks and doesn't trust me anymore. Before I know it, she'll be a different person. One who doesn't even want me around.
Huh. Funny how there's multiple images in this episode of reflections in things. That's funny. That's funny. It's funny how it's almost like there's something about reflections and mirror images and things. Huh.
The way I see it, relationships are two-sided, and sometimes it doesn't make sense to do all the heavy lifting when the other isn't in the mood. We all go through and deal with things differently, and sometimes you just need to let people do things their own way, as long as you're still there when they need you. Giving someone space should never be the same as giving up on them.
I don't even know what I want.
That's the thing, isn't it, Ragatha? Like, when... That's one of the horrible things about really, really people-pleasing is when you construct your identity entirely around trying to do what you think other people want from you, you sort of lose touch with who you even are outside of the context of that, right? Like, what do you actually want? Well, when you ask yourself that question, it's like, whatever someone else wants, right? When someone asks you, what do you want to eat? Whatever you want to eat. Just what, that's fine. Like, I'll eat anything. Like, even if you do have preferences, you don't like spicy food, you can't eat fish, you like whatever, but you can't access that knowledge about yourself because the moment you try, it gets overwritten with, well, my needs shouldn't come before anyone else's, therefore I don't, right? And that can sort of be the horrible consequences. You lose touch with your sense of self, right? Like I don't know what I want because I just want whatever will make other people not hate me, right?
I just want everyone to be happy.
Or that, I just want everyone to be happy, kind of the same thing.
And I don't want people to hate me.
Do you hate yourself? I hated myself. I couldn't help but hate myself for the things I thought I was responsible for. I thought I'd lost everything. But then you showed up. And my outlook just changed. There are always ways to show you care without ruining yourself over it. You need to look out for yourself in all this, too.
I don't get it. So often nothing you say makes any sense, but then you have these moments where you... I don't know. How do you do that? How have you been around for so long?
I guess I just have a resilient mind.
Breathtaking! The committee's gonna love that.
Yeah.
Are they so far?
The like, at some point, the panopticon kind of has to come up here, doesn't it? That's the other thing is, and this is certainly like, so like if you're famous on the internet, more famous than me, right? It fucks with your behavior because you live your life with the constant knowledge that everything you do anywhere is always being watched by someone. Anything you post on social media, anything you do, anything you like, anything, like, you could be out in public and someone could recognize you and be filming you. You never know, right? And that fucks with people, right? Like, that's like more than one person who's like gotten famous on the internet has like really crashed out hard over that. And if you think you are constantly being surveilled or observed, it affects your behavior very, very substantially. And this is like where we get to the Panopticon, which is like, the Panopticon is a prison. It's a prison that was proposed by, I think it was Jeremy Bentham, who was like a utilitarian philosopher. And the idea is that the prison is built as a circular room, and in the middle of the room there's a tower, and in that tower there's a guard. And the prisoners can't see where the guard is looking, but the guard could, at all times, at literally any moment, be looking at you. You don't know. At every minute of every moment of every day, you could be under surveillance at any time, and the point of the prison is that will cause the prisoners to behave themselves, because they will constantly be living with the risk and uncertainty that they might be being monitored at any time, so therefore, they will all be model prisoners, and that's a very good and humane way to handle imprisoning people. It's horrifying. It's a deeply existential horror thing, but that's a thing I think probably should come into the discussion of the characters in The Amazing Digital Circus. It's like, as Caine himself puts it, thousands of all-seeing eyes, right? Having that constant surveillance by Caine, that constant observation, that constant feeling that something is observing you and maybe judging you, that can fuck with people real bad. And like, and that can make your neuroses so much worse. Like, really way worse. Because if you never have the feeling that you have privacy, that you have confidence, that you have intimacy, right? That's what makes both this moment funny, but also this is kind of violating, isn't it? Like, you can see it in Kinger's eyes. The moment he realizes that Bubble is there, it's like, it breaks the whole vibe. It breaks the whole it breaks the scene, right? That this was an intimate moment of vulnerability between the two of them. Except, no, it's not. Now it's a performance, right?
Are they still following us?
Are you still following us?
Yeah, we're still following you.
Where else would we be?
They're still following us.
All right, this is a long one. We're gonna have to run. Let's go!
Gotta be kind of hard to hit Gangle with a bullet if you're not aiming for the mask.
Oh, we got so unlucky with the drops here.
It's time.
Why'd you stop shooting? You out of ammo?
Why'd you stop? You out of ammo?
Pomni, got any ammo left?
I have one in the cylinder and one sniper round, but no sniper rifle.
Crap.
Oh, she deserves it. There we go. And yet, oh, that's good. Motion blur, my beloved. Let me see my girl be happy for once. Another wonder. Again, this thing about contrasting motion, right? Like these shots of extremely high amounts of motion, and then we contrast cut, both in color and in motion, to Zooble standing still, just doing a little fist pump. That's my girlfriend, right? Like that little, like, hell yeah. Here's an interesting shot also. We get an FPS shot just for a second. This is from Gangle's point of view. Fully a little bit of Wolfenstein perspective there. And I do like that Gangle's mask survives the fall there. The happy mask. And it survives in more ways than one, right? Because she gets shot through the happy mask, and as it falls off, still happy.
Shoot.
You're just gonna hide in your room?
Coward!
Huh.
Daisy, Daisy,
Give me your answer.
Are you seriously gonna start singing that?
I'm
Half crazy, just for the love of you.
It won't be a stylish marriage. I can't afford a carriage, but you'll look sweet upon the seat of a bicycle built for two. Oh wait, I have a key to Zubal's room.
Ooh, nice flashbang. Still, the irony of the person who most hates their body being in a room full of mirrors. Oh. And again, you can see how Caine would arrive at it, right? Like, well, Zubal wants to assemble their body every morning. I will give them lots of mirrors so they can see what they're doing. Like, that, it makes sense from the perspective of an AI with no theory of mind, but just a theory of function.
Daisy, Daisy, give me your answer.
Are you seriously gonna start singing that?
I'm half crazy, just for the love of you. It won't be a stylish marriage.
I can't afford a carriage, but you're...
And they even use, that's the other thing, they even use that little sort of synthesizer. Doom, doo, 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 doo.
Look sweet upon the seat of a
Bicycle built for two.
Oh wait, I have a key to Zubal's room.
Here's another bit of coyote time, right? Like the grenade gets thrown, and then we do a little bit of voosh, and then pop. Love me a flash frame. I like this way of rendering the effects of a flashbang too. Yeah.
I can get him.
Wait!
Trust me, partner, I got this.
He really can't stand the memory of Kaufmo, huh? Like that, we saw that when he refused to go to the funeral, right? Like Jax has this, it's all funny, everything's a joke, everything's funny, I'll laugh at anything, I'm not taking anything seriously, but also I'm not going to go to that funeral because of, it's stupid, and it's stupid to go to funerals, that's the only reason why I'm not going, and it's not because I don't think I can make fun of it, because I don't have the emotional capacity, because it actually affects me deeply, and I can't just lock this away in my nihilism chamber, and I have to confront feelings whenever I'm around it, so instead I'm just gonna look away. Are you seriously gonna Russian roulette it? Okay.
Ow!
Well, shit, man. Guess that's the end of that. See you on the flip side.
Whoop. Okay. Oh, man. Okay, all right.
What?
We did it! We make such a good team.
Intimacy? Ew! Don't touch me. And even he didn't quite seem to understand his own reaction there. There's a fucking trauma in there. There's something about that. Like, and that could be anything, right? Like, this kind of resistance to physical intimacy, that can be because that intimacy has been betrayed before or taken advantage of. It can be because you feel that your body is wrong and disgusting, right? This thing, this ugly thing that I'm stuck in is horrid and it's disgusting, and I don't like it being touched because it reminds me of how disgusting I am, right? Like how my body is wrong, right? It can be about, like, it can also just be about the fear of the emotional intimacy of it, right? Like, if I let other people get that close to me and touch me, then like that breaks this barrier, right, that I constantly put up in front of myself, where I'm too much of an asshole for anyone to want to touch. There is a phenomenon that happens, I believe. This is sort of tangential, it's not really directly related, but I know that there is a thing that happens sometimes, I've heard about from a friend who works in social services, that occasionally with children who have been abused physically, they will, one of the ways they might react to it is they might refuse to bathe and refuse to ever wash themselves, because like and get really just like they'll get infections, they'll get sores, they'll get really gross and disgusting, and it's because it's a way to prevent other people from seeking physical intimacy with them, right? It's a way to protect yourself from other people coming close enough to you that you feel your intimacy could be violated, right? And that's a sort of fairly extreme thing with children, right? But it's something that you can see versions of that strategy happen with many people for many reasons. Is if you have a thing that makes you like ashamed of your body, or it makes you terrified of being touched or accepting affection, you can develop these strategies of intentionally making yourself as unapproachable as possible in various ways. Like whether that means wearing like deliberately off-putting clothes, or like a deliberately off-putting style, whether that means like by being deliberately personally kind of repulsive, like in the sense of like having a really unpleasant personality that people just don't want to be around, and that can feel a lot safer, even though that means you sort of push your friends away. That can feel safer. That can feel much safer because it spares you from the threat of, oh, intimacy, fuck. Like, this was my source of pain, right? And Jax's panic here, that he gets hugged, and then there's this moment, and that looks like a trauma flashback almost in the way that it's animated. That looks like all of a sudden some kind of memory or some kind of emotion surged into him and terrified the shit out of him. And you can see that thing of like, I have to get her away from me right the fuck now, and I don't know why, but I have to. And then there's almost this like this moment of where it's like he almost hasn't realized what he's just done. And now he's like, okay, that was, and then, well, then the mask comes back on, right?
Well, to be fair, our competition wasn't anything crazy.
Yeah, true. I suppose this is the part where one of us betrays the other.
And Jax is still looking at his hand there.
Huh? Oh, yeah, you can betray me.
Oh, I thought this was gonna be a mutual thing.
Nah, go on, do it.
I don't really want to.
Lame! Come on, I thought you were cool.
We could just be winners as a team.
We're not a team, come on.
What do you mean? Yes, we are.
Delusional.
Weren't we kind of bonding over being chaotic evil together?
I was merely entertaining you because I thought it was funny. Now are you gonna shoot me or what?
Reject me! Reject me! Reject me! You're gonna reject me because you hate me. Of course you do. No one likes me. Reject me. Come on! Oh, Jax, you poor little bastard. Like...
Did I do something wrong?
Ugh, you sound like Ragatha right now. No wonder we're not a team.
No, I mean, we were doing fine, having fun, talking. But you suddenly
You're not committing. Do it.
If I shoot you right now, are we still gonna be friends afterwards?
We were never friends.
What about all that stuff you told me?
Yeah, I did tell you a lot, didn't I? Not looking forward to thinking about that tomorrow.
No, we're not doing this. You're not gonna look me in the eye and tell me nothing we've been doing together meant anything to you, because I know that's not true.
Are you coming on to me? Yeah, that's what everybody wants. A straight couple.
Yeah, sure, Jax. That's what that would be.
Oh my god, can you take this seriously? Can you take anything seriously?
Dude, you're a cartoon clown. How am I supposed to take you seriously?
You reached out to me, not the other way around. You're just gonna pretend that didn't happen?
You must be misremembering.
Is this why you didn't show up to Kaufmo's funeral?
I don't show up to any funerals.
Yeah, I bet you don't. Because you're scared. You're scared you'll actually show a human emotion.
I'm scared I'll be bored to tears.
Have you ever thought that this might be what causes people to abstract in the first place?
Oh my god! Are you seriously gonna blame me for something that everybody else did too? You didn't even know him! You don't even know what people are like before they abstract. They are not pleasant to be around. Like at all!
Huh. I wonder if there's someone else at the circus who's not pleasant to be around at all.
You...
I'm...
Oh, God in heaven, that's fucked. They're oh my God, Jesus Christ. You can see him take a breath and then repress it, repress it. I'm repressing everything. I don't have feelings. I'm repressing it.
Well, to be fair, our competition wasn't...
And it happens here as well, right? Like, it's the same move, just it's... That other shot really calls attention to it. But it's the same move where, like, he has this... Oh, fuck, I'm showing an actual human emotion. Mask back on.
Well, to be fair, our competition wasn't anything crazy.
Yeah, true.
Right? It's so sweet of Pomni also. Like, you can see Pomni's like, okay, if we're playing this game, what's the next move, right? Jax has told her everything's just a game. It's just a game. Okay, let's play a game. And she's playing a game as a way to relate to him, right? As a way to like forge some kind of bond with him, right? Because she's sort of kind of emotionally healthy. And Jax can't stand that it works, right? Because they were bonding. They were, like, Pomni's right. They were bonding. That he was reaching out to her. They were having a moment. But he can't confront that ever. He can't. He cannot confront it. He has to disavow it at the end. Because vulnerability, right? Like intimacy, connection terrifies him. And I really do like this thing of like when Pomni is trying to continue the game, that Jax is still clearly like, why did I push her? Like clearly not quite understanding what he himself just did or why he did it.
I suppose this is the part where one of us betrays the other.
Huh? Oh, yeah. You can betray me.
Oh, I thought this was gonna be a mutual thing.
Nah, go on, do it.
It feels so much like, also, like, well, if she betrays me and she shoots me, then cool. Then she was not trying to actually be my friend, right? If Pomni just betrays him now, is like, oh, she was just pretending to be my friend to get close to me so she could betray me. Haha, of course, because it wasn't real. And that's good because I don't want it to be real. Because, right, like, that feels like him spotting an exit, right? That feels like him spotting an exit from this moment of, oh shit, there was intimacy there. I don't like that.
I don't really want to.
Lame! Come on, I thought you were cool.
We could just be winners as a team.
We're not a team, come on.
We're not a team, come on. This isn't real. You don't like me. You don't care about me. No one likes me. No one cares about me. Right? Like, people don't have real emotions, and no one's ever gonna like me at all, whatsoever. Because I'm unlikable, fundamentally, as a person. And that can't be changed, ever. I am the funny one in the archetype, and I can't change that, and I can't be different. And therefore, it feels like Jax is trying to escape this situation. Where he was this close to having to actually bond with Pomni, right?
What do you mean? Yes, we are.
Delusional.
Weren't we kind of bonding over being chaotic evil together?
I was merely...
Right, and his response to that, specifically, it's not just that he's denying it by trying to provoke her, by mocking her, by being cruel to her, right? It's not just saying, oh, no, you have misinterpreted the situation. That's not what it was. It was, you're stupid. You're stupid for thinking that. You're a moron. You're an asshole. Shoot me. Shoot me in the head. Like, fight with me. Attack me. Berate me, right? Instead of what Pomni's trying to do, which is talk to him and hear him out. Like, Pomni wants to hear from him, right? She wants Jax to say what he's actually feeling. And he doesn't. He can't. Like, he's not even saying, like, he doesn't even say, I hate you. Notice that, right? Like, he doesn't say, I don't like you. He doesn't say, I hate you. All he's doing is trying to get her to confirm what he wants to be true, which is that she doesn't like him and she hates him and intimacy isn't possible and no one's ever going to like me and no one's ever going to want to be close to me ever again because I'm scared of people being close to me, right?
Entertaining you because I thought it was funny. Now are you going to shoot me or what?
Did I do something wrong?
You sound like Ragatha right now. No wonder we're not a team.
No, I mean, we were doing fine, having fun, talking. But you suddenly
You're not committing.
Just... The fact that his face looks like that here... Right? Because we know that's the mask, right? So this is the most of the mask, right? Like, this is the most of the persona.
Do it.
If I shoot you right now, are we still gonna be friends afterwards?
And that's like Pomni's just not accepting his framing, right? Like, she knows that he's full of shit. She knows that he's lying. She doesn't know why, right? She doesn't understand why he's doing it. But she, like, and that's one thing I like about Pomni. That's something maybe Gangle would struggle to do a little bit. Pomni knows what she has experienced, right? Like, she holds on, like, no. We were hanging out, we were bonding, we were building a connection. There's friendship here. Why are you lying about that, right? Like, she doesn't allow him to cast doubt on that, but she is definitely hurt that he's trying.
We were never friends.
What about all that stuff you told me?
Yeah, I did tell you a lot, didn't I? Not looking forward to thinking about that tomorrow.
No, we're not doing this. You're not gonna look me in the eye and tell me nothing we've been doing together meant anything to you, because I know that's not true.
Are you coming on to me?
And again, Jax has to deflect, right? It really is interesting the extent to which he has yet, like, the simplest thing would be to say, well, I don't like you and I don't want to be your friend. Right? Like, the simplest thing is just to express feelings that I hate you, or you're pissing me off, or whatever. But he's not doing that. All he's doing is deflecting around it, right? Like, he's like, oh, how can I reject the thing that she's saying? Well, let's change the conversation to a subject that I know she finds more uncomfortable.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, that's what everybody wants. A straight couple.
Oh my god, can you take this seriously? Can you take anything seriously?
Dude, you're a cartoon clown. How am I supposed to take you seriously?
Again, talking around the subject, right? He doesn't say, no, I can't take it seriously, or yes, I could take it seriously if I wanted to. He just deflects around it with an insult, right?
You reached out to me, not the other way around. You're just gonna pretend that didn't happen?
You must be misremembering.
Is this why you didn't show up to Kaufmo's funeral?
I don't show up to any funerals.
Yeah, I bet you don't. Because you're scared. You're scared you'll actually show a human emotion.
I'm scared I'll be bored to tears.
And, like, we know... That's another thing. I do like that the show has made a point of showing that Jax not showing up to the funeral is a matter of there's a feeling that he can't confront with it, right? I'm scared I'll be bored to tears. Funerals are stupid. That's why I'm not going. But we can, like, that wasn't what he was showing in his acting when he didn't go.
Have you ever thought that this might be what causes people to abstract in the first place?
Oh my god! Are you seriously gonna blame me for something that everybody else did too? You didn't even know him! You don't even know what people are like before they abstract. They are not pleasant to be around.
That sounds like a lot of guilt.
Actually, be what causes people to abstract in the first place.
And, like, that's where Pomni finally, like, lands a hit, right? Have you ever thought that this might be what causes people to abstract in the first place, right? And that seems to land pretty hard with Jax, right? Like, this disengagement, right? Like, this refusal to hold on to your humanity. Maybe that's what causes people to abstract. And Jax is like, are you seriously blaming me for Kaufmo abstracting? But she didn't. Like Pomni didn't say you're the reason Kaufmo abstracted, but that's what he heard. That's what he heard immediately. Is like, this is my fault. And that's because, again, like, I think Jax really does feel, or is very, very afraid that Kaufmo's abstraction might have been partly his responsibility.
God! Are you seriously gonna blame me for something that everybody else did too? You didn't even know him! You don't even know what people are like before they abstract. They are not pleasant to be around.
Before Kaufmo abstracted, Jax stopped being around him, stopped showing up, stopped looking in on him. Because it was unpleasant, and it was scary, and he kind of knew where things were going. And he feels guilty about that.
Like at all! You...
I'm...
God, that's fucking unsettling.
I'm...
And the way they handle it from an animation perspective, it literally looks like they're just letting it spline. Like, they set up this expression, and they set up that expression, and they're just, like, letting a couple of, like, linear... Like, just a couple of, like, linear transformations with no easing, really. Like, well, there's some easing, probably. But, like, just letting it slide so smoothly from the one to the other is... That's repression. That's dissociation. That is not a healthy way for a mind to be. And it's not a healthy way for a mind to respond to a surge of strong emotion. Right? Because Pomni said something that got to him. And Jax began to actually express some feelings and some fears, right? Are you going to blame me for something everyone else did? Everyone else left him too. It's not my fault. I wasn't the only one doing it. Everyone else just left. It wasn't just me. You didn't even know him. You didn't know what it was like. You don't have the right to judge me. Oh, wait, fuck, I'm expressing feelings. Zoop. Push it down, push it away. Don't engage with the feeling because the feeling is scary.
I'm sorry.
I'm sure you are. Oh, man. This is all sorts of embarrassing, huh? So, you're gonna shoot me or what?
What would you do if I abstracted tomorrow?
I'd move on. And probably forget about you.
Okay.
Yeah, like you forgot about Kaufmo? like you've totally forgotten. You forgot. You don't even know who he is anymore. You have no reaction whatsoever to seeing Kaufmo's face on the door. None. Zero. Absolutely none. We can all tell. Definitely.
Okay. I understand.
Jeez, you really can't take a joke, can you?
You're not the funny one!
I don't think that counts.
Get him, girl!
Hey, what are you doing?
Fight back!
Are you crazy?
I said fight back!
Stop!
He really can't take it, can he?
What's wrong with you?
Why didn't you fight back?
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Because I didn't fight back, that means I secretly care about you? I'm just a misunderstood little chicken fetus in an egg that needs to be cracked open.
I mean, I said it half as a joke, but I mean, okay, that's textual now.
Well, I am not. I do not care about you or anyone else in this circus in the slightest. End of story. You are my playthings, and I get joy out of making you suffer. I'm the one who causes pain for fun. If I led you on, it was just to make this part hurt you more. Fuck.
A little liar.
There's nothing more to me. So please, just stop looking.
I'm just an archetype. I don't have feelings. I'm not a person. I don't have human depths to me. Stop looking. Stop trying to form intimacy with me. I don't want intimacy because intimacy is scary for reasons I don't quite understand and I don't want to parse. The tonal whiplash.
Hey,
I have something
feel
I-
like
Those two should kiss.
You can
No,
speak
you
first.
go. Let's talk after the show.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, Jax, you definitely don't care, and there's definitely nothing to you, and you're staying away from them because you don't care about them at all, about their feelings. That's why you're staying near the back instead of sitting up front. It's because you have no feelings whatsoever, and you're not upset by anything, and it doesn't matter at all. So that's why you're staying as far away from them as you possibly can, is because you have no feelings about it whatsoever.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Favorite Character Awards!
Okay, but all of the awards ought to go to Bubble. Just saying. Oh, no, wait. One of them needs to go to the disappearing guy.
Before anything starts, I'd like to thank the committee for examining our nominees and voting on our winners.
We love you!
Shut up. Character Awards! Before anything starts, I'd like to thank the committee for examining our nominees and voting on our winners.
We love you!
I really like that popping animation up and down, because it's not just that they are like that they're bouncing up and down. It's that they rise into the air and then they stay there for a second and then they pop back down and then they rise into the air and then they pop back down. Like there's a sort of mechanical motion to it that I find really tickling.
And voting on our winners.
We love you!
It's like they're on pistons in Minecraft and like getting
Shut up. What's an award show
He doesn't care about anything. Jax doesn't have feelings.
without honorable mentions and subcategories?
No feelings. Definitely isn't affected by it. Definitely is not upset. Because he's just a bad guy. And all he does is hurt people. And that's the only thing he knows how to do. And he can't possibly be different. And he can't be any... He's not an egg. He's definitely not an egg of any kind. Who, like... No. No, you're an egg. I'm not an egg.
That's right, it's bad. Unlike my show, which is good.
That's another... Oh, wait a minute. Okay, that's another mirror. Yeah, I've had those. Oh, look, mirrors. Another mirror.
God, you look stupid. So,
MVP, best character. Best character. He's the best one.
Unlike my show, which is good.
I've had panic attacks. Not quite as intense as this, necessarily. Like, I don't get the ringing in the ears, but I definitely do get, like... I recognize a lot of this. And, like, we're doing, like, you can see the animation is using a fisheye lens effect here to sort of exaggerate the space. And then on top of that, as Jax is breathing, you see how his head literally inflates into the frame? Becomes way too big. Like there's this warping and morphing to his body that really emphasizes how, like, both how squeezed and stressed he feels, and how the world is closing in around him.
God, you look stupid.
And in this moment of vulnerability and pain, all he has to say to himself is, well, I look stupid. He just had a panic attack, like a terrifying thing, and the only way he's capable of reacting is by mocking himself for having it, right?
So, so,
I love Disappearing Guy so much. He's so good.
And the award for biggest sailor mouth goes to Zubul.
Oh, Subal got the stupid juice. Hey! We all need a little recreational bimbofication occasionally, right?
All right, folks, it's now the moment you've all been waiting for. The award for favorite character. Bubble, give me a drum roll. And the award for favorite character goes to... Why, it's me, everyone!
Ah, really? The committee that loves you gave it to you? Wow. Shocker.
Oh, wait, I misread that. It's Ming.
You shouldn't have assumed you won the award. Now we both look foolish.
Very good. Let me just... There's probably kind of a lot of people called Chris O'Neill, but it seems to be... Oni G! Oh, it is him! Or Oni NG. Pomni in a Jax costume. This too is Vor. Oh my god, there's a plushie of Disappearing Guy? If it actually was capable of disappearing, I would pay any amount of money. Literally, like a plush where you buy it, and then like a team of international cat burglars are commissioned to go to your house and steal it from you, so that it's gone the next day. Gooseworks really handles an astonishing amount of work on this series, by the way. I hope she gets they, I don't know what hip pronouns are, but I hope they get sleep. She, right? I hope she gets sleep. Like I hope she fucking naps and stuff, and eats good food. She's also working on making another show. Someone please put her to bed. Post-credits scene, huh?
Alrighty. Now, let's see how many of them voted for me.
Oh, poor Caine. I'm sure that won't affect him negatively at all.
Alrighty. Now, let's see how many of them voted for me.
That's the result of their community poll. Caine got nothing in the community poll? Surely not. He got last. Okay. But, like, surely not. Looks like a dead heat between 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Looks like Kinger actually takes it. So is this just a gag? A reference to the community poll? Or is this actually... Is this actually Caine getting unstable? Because, like, not for nothing, but we don't know for sure that it's only humans who can abstract. Unless, of course, they've said something different at fucking thing. But, like, Caine's instability is... Like, there's certain kinds of information that Caine just simply... We saw this, right? Like, it's even the same glitch effect, right? Like, you see the horizontal sort of scan line effect over his eyes. We've seen that there's certain kinds of information, right? That Caine just cannot process, right? That Caine simply cannot handle, right? Like, doesn't know what to do with or how to process. We talked about this, like, in terms of, like, him being an AI who doesn't have the capacity to take on certain kinds of data. And I do wonder if there's a breaking point for him where his...
He voted for Murfrido voted for Murfrido voted for Murfrido of Mathwain any of them Mathwain of them Mathwain any of them voted for Murfrido for me for me for me Murfrido of Mathwain and Mahis. Let's see how Mahis see wow
Owen Wilson ass motherfucker. Wow. did you see the Caine and Abel in the guns? Yeah, like that's the company logo, right? I assume that that's what it is. Like we're doing Caine and Abel, and presumably the thing about Caine is that Caine is the first murderer. So the question is like, okay, what happened to Abel then? And who was Abel, right? My personal theory is that Kinger's real name might be Abel. Like, if I were to try and form a theory about that at this point, like, my theory would be that Kinger is Abel, and I think Caine was based on someone Kinger used to know. Like, the way that he talked about, like, what he has been responsible for, right? And his apparent ability, more than any other character, to affect and understand these realities, and understanding how Caine works, right? And understanding how Caine... Like, he knows Caine's approach to level design, for example. So, like, I wouldn't be surprised if it was Kinger and Caine, whoever they were in real life, were partners working at this company, working on this like VR AI technology, and then Caine passes away or some kind of accident happens, and then Kinger, desperate to restore his friend, uses his personality, builds him into the computer, or it's some kind of experiment, right? Like where Caine is the first one to get sucked into it. I think that's a possibility, because like the fact that it's named Caine and Abel implies brotherhood and a betrayal, right? The interesting thing is that Caine in this theory would be the one who got betrayed, and that's not usually how it goes. Usually how it goes is that Caine is the one doing the betrayal. I don't know. Like, certainly Kinger shows, like, we talked about this also with the interstitial, right? Like, this imagery of Kinger as someone who holds the world up, like, who's capable of holding up the world like Atlas, but who was also seems to be kind of on the chopping block to get taken out. And also given that he's the king, like the chess king, when the king falls, the game is over, right? Like, all of it's sort of pointing to the idea that Kinger specifically is a keystone to a lot of this. And I can't help but wonder if Kinger were to actually abstract, how would that affect Caine? Because Caine is fixated on Zubul in an interesting way, because he can't please them, right? He can't please them at all. And Caine fixates on Zubul especially, trying to gain approval in an interesting way. But Caine barely ever seems to talk to or interact with Kinger that much, does he? Like, it's very rare that Caine is addressing Kinger directly, or even that Kinger talks to him very much. Jax doesn't address Kinger much either. No, but at least he talks to him and about him, right? I'm curious about that. Like, again, if we're really entering into like the final act of the story, they've got some ground to again, it also depends how much they want to explore, right? I think it would be very interesting if this doesn't have a happy ending at all. I think it would be very interesting if this ends in tragedy. Like, it'd be interesting if they kind of Rogue One this one, actually. Yeah. At least insofar as... This is me sort of thinking through, like, so much of the thematic core of this seems to be about people learning to take refuge from absurdity and empathy, right? Like, the world is absurd, insane shit is happening all the time, nothing is stable, right? People go away, things change unpredictably. Nothing can be done to fix this. What's the antidote to that? What's the remedy? Well, Kinger has kind of shown us multiple times, right? His moment in the dark with Pomni and his moment in the dark with Ragatha. That's where you take refuge, right? Like, in having someone there who's willing to understand you, right? And, like, the ultimate test of that, there's in a happy story, the ultimate test of that would be that the characters learn to trust and believe in each other enough that they are able to use their mutual love and like the power of trust to free themselves from their absurdity and sort of take back some agency and control over their lives. That's the happy ending. The tragic ending is one in which that's not enough to set them free, right? That the end of this is going to be that things just keep breaking down, right? Things break down and break down and break down and break down. And everything gets more absurd, and Caine gets more unstable, and the world gets more fucked up. And the light in the dark is that as things collapse around them, as everything falls apart, the characters are able to cling to one another and take solace in one another as, you know, the shadow of death finally comes for them, as it were. That's the tragic ending. And I do think, again, depending on what the show is trying to say, right? I do think it can be more powerful instead of allowing love to overcome all, right? Instead of allowing that connection to simply bypass the negative consequences of an absurd world over which the characters have no control, that it's like, no, yeah, you're doomed. You are doomed to die, but there's a big difference between dying alone and dissociated and absent from yourself and dying next to someone who cares for you, right? Like, there's a big difference between those things. And given that we're all doomed to die, I mean, that's my hope, is that when I go, it'll be quietly and with some peace, surrounded by people who care about me, right? That's the hope. So if they wanted to do a tragic ending, I say this, of course. On the other hand, I also just want them to be happy. I just want Gangle to start her webcomic. I want Pomni to go back to just like living a reasonably stable life. I would like Kinger to get therapy. I want Jax to get estrogen. I do want nice things for them. But I think a tragedy, in terms of the themes that are being set up, yeah, I want Zubul to get the fuck. Zubul should get to fuck. Holy shit. But in terms of if the themes are going in the direction that I'm sort of positing here, I think a tragic ending might be the more powerful one, but I guess we'll see about that. Anyway,
Pomni could be such a sharpshooter.
I do like that Kinger, upon losing the game, is just kind of proud of Pomni. Such a fucking dad.
Yeah. Ah, what a game. Who knew Pomni could be such a sharpshooter? These adventures, huh? And look, even...
Also, these are death flags, by the way. Like, the fact that Kinger is the one who's, like, having these conversations in the dark, and who's a little bit of, like, the emotional linchpin of the team, those are death flags. These are all things that sort of like, oh, this is the character we're setting up to be a beloved favorite so that when he dies, it hurts the most. I really do think that Kinger at some point is going to sacrifice himself for the rest of them. In no small part because he also alluded to that guilt of his, right?
couldn't help but hate myself for the things I thought I was responsible for. I thought I'd lost everything. But then you showed up.
Right? His outlook is that he was in this deep, dark pit of self-hatred. He thought he was responsible for something terrible, and he was alone, apparently. But then Ragatha showed up. And my outlook just changed. And these are death flags. I'm just saying. These are death flags. These are the things that a character says when they are going to resolve their character arc by sacrificing themselves for others. Right? I'm just saying. I'm sorry. That's just how the tropes roll. That's the way it goes. And this really is so father-daughter coded.
Ah, what a game. Who knew Pomni could be such a sharpshooter?
At this point, it would be a subversion not to kill Kinger. Yeah!
These adventures, huh? And look, even though we lost, at least we gave it our all, right? You feeling all right? Are you upset that we lost? Are you upset about something else? You want to talk about it? You want to talk about it?
Pay attention to Ragatha here. You see that suddenness, right? You want to talk about it? And like there's that moment and then there's that right? There's that clench. And you really get the feeling that like something, it's this bracing yourself, it's this building up. There's that build up of like emotion that wants to come out, but how the fuck are we going to do it?
I think I might have failed Pomni. Just like I failed Jax. I tried too hard to get on their good side, and then I just end up pushing them away. And then they end up hating me.
Gooseworks just made a YouTube post about the episode. Oh, let's go look at that. On their personal channel, I guess? Nope. That's funny. It's a picture of Pomni and Jax, a photograph, but it's been thrown in the trash. It's very funny.
Pushing them away. And then they end up hating me.
Well, I don't think anyone in here hates you.
Jax does!
Jax hates himself, right? Like, this is what we've established, right? I try too hard to get on their good side, and then I just end up pushing them away. And like, yeah, that's the horrible paradox of people pleasing is people are pushed away by it, right? Like, it's ultimately you can't help but push people away because the moment they clock on to the fact that you are not expressing yourself honestly, they lose trust, right? And they don't want to be around you because, like, I can't trust that this person is being forthright with me. I can't trust that when I ask them how they feel or what they want, that they will actually tell me what they believe, right? Like, they'll actually tell me the truth. I can't trust that. And that's uncomfortable to be around, right? And it's not always a thing of like, if you're a people pleaser, other people end up hating you. It's more a thing of like, being around you is kind of stressful, because once I realize that you're a people pleaser, I try to adjust my behavior as like, okay, that person is never going to tell me what they actually want, which means I have to try and play 3D mind chess to try and figure out what they mean when they say things, right? So when they say like, oh, sure, we can go have Mexican food, I don't mind that. You kind of have to go, okay, they're doing that because they think that will make me happy, but they seem to be sort of kind of implying that maybe it wouldn't make them happy. So, okay, what about Italian? Sure, we could do Italian. What about Thai? Sure, we could do Thai. Like, it's hard. It's a lot of hard work trying to get an honest need or an expression of desire out of a people pleaser. It's just hard. It's just exhausting. And eventually that can be something that like people just don't want to engage with you anymore, because being around you is kind of exhausting because they can't get a straight answer out of you, right? Because other people, and this is the frustrating thing, other people want you to be happy generally. When they're around you, when they're your friend, they want you to be happy. But if you're a people pleaser, you can't prioritize your happiness, right? You can't get yourself to do it. You like it, and I know this. I've been in that position. It can be so fucking hard to even consider expressing your own desires. And for people who want to make you happy, if you can't tell them what you want, that can be stressful. That can be rough, man. And it sucks. It's so miserable because people pleasers deserve to have companionship and friends who are around them and care about them. And it's not like when someone is a people pleaser, it's not on purpose. Like it's not because they want to be difficult or exhausting or whatever. Like it's not because they want to. It's just it's a difficult thing. Like it's a really difficult, miserable thing.
I end up pushing them away. And then they end up hating me.
Right? And Ragatha's understanding is like, I end up pushing them away and then they end up hating me, right? Pomni is going to hate me. Jax hates me, right? That's the only framework that she has to understand what's going on. Where it's more like Pomni is like, oh, okay. Like Pomni kind of likes Ragatha, but like isn't super enthused about Ragatha's dishonesty. And Jax hates himself, right? The reason he doesn't want to be around Ragatha is because he hates himself a lot. Right? Because he doesn't want intimacy, because intimacy scares and hurts him, right? But Ragatha can't understand that because she's so stuck in, if other people don't like me, that's my fault because I've done something wrong. So when Jax is pushing her away, right? She's like, well, it's because he hates me. And that insight of like, oh no, he's doing that because he hates himself, right? Like he's doing that because he himself has a bunch of bad shit going on, and it isn't my fault, and it has nothing to do with me. She can't see that. Pomni definitely can. Like Pomni has clocked Jax pretty hard. Ragatha can't. She can only really see that as like, if he doesn't like me, that's because I am wrong, right? That's because I've done something terribly wrong. Rather than, that's because he has something going on that's not my fault and has nothing to do with me.
Jax does! Gangle and Subal don't ever talk to me, and Pomni probably won't after today either. She came to me wanting to be on my team. I said no. Why did I do that?
Maybe you just needed a break. It sounds to me like you put a lot of pressure on yourself to be there for everyone, and when you're not, you beat yourself up for it.
And the thing is, Ragatha didn't even say no. Right? That's the thing, is like Ragatha didn't even say no. She said, I would love to. That's what you said to Pomni, is that you said, I would love to, but then you were worried about Jax being teamed up with Kinger. You didn't even say no. Pomni picked up that you were worried about that, started working with you to find a solution, and when she realized that you were kind of not super happy about having been shot and you were kind of stressed, she offered to be on the team with Jax to spare you. That's what happened. You didn't even say no, girl. You didn't reject her. You didn't do anything wrong. Nothing bad happened, but when you hate yourself sufficiently, doing everything right and nothing going wrong, you can find a way to turn it into your own failure.
You said you failed Pomni. Why do you feel that way?
I don't know. I feel like every day we're drifting further apart. Like she's seen through all my tricks and doesn't trust me anymore. Before I know it, she'll be a different person. One who doesn't even want me around.
The way I see it, relationships are two-sided. And sometimes...
Yeah, that's the other thing. Like, Ragatha saying she's seen through all my tricks, right? Is that thing of like, I have all these tricks to get people to like me, and they work for a little bit, but then they see through my tricks, and then they realize that I'm not likable, and then they hate me, right? That's very imposter syndrome, right? Very this thing of like, if other people like me, it's only because I've tricked them. It's only because I have somehow fooled them into not perceiving all of my negative traits, which are the only traits that I have. I only have negative traits. People can't possibly like me for any reason. It's because I bamboozled them with my mind magic.
Sometimes it doesn't make sense to do all the heavy lifting when the other isn't in the mood. We all go through and deal with things differently, and sometimes... Yeah,
the manipulative tricks, being a good person and wanting to be a friend, right? Like, that's... Trying to be kind to other people and personable and be considerate of their emotions is not a form of malicious manipulation. Ragatha does that to the point that it hurts herself, right? Like that she's completely destroying her own sense of her own needs and her own wants and her own ability to express it. But she's not doing anything, like, evil. It's not like she's being cruel. She's just... Yeah.
Sometimes you just need to let people do things their own way, as long as you're still there when they need you.
And that's Kinger's thing. There's like there's that thing. Ragatha has this fear that Pomni is drifting away from her, right? Like, Pomni's drifting away from me, and she's going to be a different person. She's not going to want me around anymore. And the natural reaction that you might have when you feel a friend drifting away from you is to cling to them. Right? They're drifting apart from me. Fuck, I need to always be around them. I need to constantly be calling them or texting them. I need to constantly be talking to them. I need to constantly like, hey, are you okay? Are you okay? I need to check in with them. I need to ask if they're okay. If there's anything I need to like, and when you do that, people kind of go, Jesus fucking Christ, girl, give me some space. And then they get annoyed with you, right? And it's so... it's so tragic because it's not like any of it comes from malice. But it is that thing of like, my friend is drifting away from me. I should respond to that by becoming clingy and way too present and demanding of their time. That's the way to fix this problem. And then, of course, they drift further away, and maybe they start getting kind of pissed at you. And then it's like, oh no, I pushed them away. It was my fault. And it's like, yeah, it was kind of a little bit your fault, but not in the way that you think it is. It's like, it sucks. It hurts, man.
Giving someone space should never be the same as giving up on them.
And like, Kinger is calling her out quite correctly there. That's like, you can give Pomni space without giving up on her, right? Like, if you give Pomni some space and you just like you stay out of her business for a minute, that's not the same as like just accepting the end of a relationship. It's not the same thing at all, right? Like, you can just like, you can give her space, and that's not the same thing as saying, I have given up on being your friend.
I don't even know what I want. I just want everyone to be happy. And I don't want people to hate me.
Do you hate yourself? I hated myself. I couldn't help but hate myself for the things I thought I was responsible for. I thought I'd lost everything.
Loser corner.
But then you showed up, and my outlook just changed. There are always ways to show you care without ruining yourself over it.
That's the other important thing, is like, you can please people. You can please people, like, without being a people pleaser, right? You can please people. You can do nice things that make other people happy without having to sacrifice of yourself every single time. It doesn't always have to be a burden, right? That's pretty fucking important also. Because that's a difficult thing, especially, again, with Ragatha. If Ragatha's experience, especially with her mother, is that in order to make her mother happy, or at least make her mother not actively berate her all the time, Ragatha has to do shitty things that she hates, right? She has to perform gender in a shitty way by, like, being perfectly feminine, or she has to do dance classes that she hates that hurt her feet, or practice piano 4 hours a day even though she doesn't really like it, or like whatever it is. If her experience with her mother is the only way to make my mother, if not happy, then at least not angry with me, is to do things that I hate and which are miserable for me, but that's the only way for me to, like, be enough for her. I mean, no wonder that's transferred over into the way she handles other relationships, right? It's like, well, the only way for me to be a good person is to, like, suffer any indignity and pain for the sake of other people's joy and pleasure, right? And it's... And you understand why, like, a child would do that in order to hold on to a parent's love. It's just, not good, man. It's
need to look
painful.
Out for yourself and all this too.
Right. You need to look out for yourself in all this too. Which, again, for Ragatha is a very difficult thing. Because she doesn't know what she wants, right? Ragatha doesn't know what she wants. So what does looking out for herself even mean to her? And that's... I mean, call me when you figure it out, Ragatha. I could use the help too.
I don't get it. So often nothing you say makes any sense, but then you have these moments where you...
Fun fact, Jax is wrong in the archetypes in the episode. Ragatha is depressed, Gangle is cheerful, Kinger is understanding, Zul is kind, Pomni knows exactly what she's doing, and Jax... Yeah, I mean, that's the point of Jax, is that whole monologue is the wrongest that a wrong person can possibly be wrong, right? This is what Jax wants to be true, or emotionally needs to be true, because that's more comfortable for him than having to face his vulnerability, right?
I don't know. How do you do that? How have you been around for so long?
I guess I just have a resilient mind.
Breathtaking! The committee's gonna love that.
Are they...
Why'd you stop shooting?
Rifle.
Crap.
Rifle.
Crap.
It's just nice to see Gangle get to be happy. It's like it's just like more sad, depressed girls should be given a Tommy gun and just like 2 minutes to do whatever they want with it.
Shoot.
Huh.
Daisy, Daisy, give me your answer.
Are you seriously gonna start singing that?
I'm half crazy, all for the love of you. It won't be a stylish marriage. I can't afford a carriage, but you'll look sweet upon the seat
Of a bicycle built for two. Again, Jack's pretending like they weren't bonding at all is just... It's sad, man. Like, it's genuinely really depressing. That, like, we get to see the way that Pomni has been playing Jax's game and relating to him and having fun with him and pushing him and poking him, and they're joking together. But the moment any of that resolves in the thing which is the reward of doing the work of relating to other people, the reward for doing that is you get to have intimacy with them. You get to have closeness, right? You get to have understanding. You get to have comfort with each other. The moment that Jax is about to reap the reward of all that, the moment he's about to get all the benefits of making friends with someone. It's this action that he can't even control, right? Like, we kind of see that, like, Pomni hugs him, and it's fine for a second, because this is the natural thing that you do when your friend is happy. And then something happens, right? Something swells up inside of him that says, no, don't touch me. And he doesn't know why. You can see that on him. He doesn't know why he just did that, but he knows he's uncomfortable, right? Like, he knows that that's something about that is scary. Something about that is danger, right? Something about that is a threat. And in response to that threat,
I'd move on. And probably forget about you.
Okay. Okay. I understand.
Jeez, you really can't take a joke, can you?
You're not the funny one!
I don't think that counts. Hey, what are you doing?
Fight back!
Are you crazy?
I said fight back!
Stop!
that's calling a bluff, by the way.
What's wrong with you?
Why didn't you fight back?
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Because I didn't fight back, that means I secretly care about you?
I think it's more likely that you don't fight back because you hate yourself and you think you deserve the punishment. But, you know.
I'm just a misunderstood little chicken fetus in an egg that needs to be cracked open. Well, I am not. I do not care about you or anyone else in this circus in the slightest. End of story. You are my playthings, and I get joy out of making you suffer.
Yeah, joy, Jax. That's definitely what it feels like right now. That's also why when Pomni attacked you, you didn't fight back. It's because you get joy out of making her suffer. That makes sense, sure.
I'm the one who causes pain for fun. If I led you on, it was just to make this part hurt you more.
And again, looking at that hand, right? Like that hand that pushed her away.
There's nothing more to me. So please, just stop looking.
God, it's sad, right? And that's the thing is like not to get all gender about it, but it's a very male thing, this thing. Not exclusively, I'm sure. But that thing of like, I don't have emotional depths. I don't have feelings. I don't have complexity. I'm a man. I'm like a shark. I swim in the water, and therefore I have to do cruel things to other people because of I'm a man, and I'm stuck as a man, and the only thing I can ever be is the archetype of a man. And that's therefore nothing else possible. I don't have feelings. I don't want to confront sadness or pain, and I don't want to consider the possibility that change is possible. Men don't have feelings. I only feel disdain and anger and smug superiority. Those are the only emotions I have because... And it's because men aren't really taught to handle any other emotions, right? Like, being raised as a man, it's like you're taught how to handle your anger to a certain extent, like in the sense of like you're taught how to deploy it strategically and expressively, but things like deep sorrow is like, hey, boys don't cry. Oh, okay, cool, thanks. That'll help me deal with all of this blinding emotional pain inside of my chest, is that boys don't do that. Okay, my archetype does not allow me to express my pain through sadness. What else can I do? Oh, I can get angry literally anytime I want and express myself with violence all the time? Cool, I guess I'm gonna have to do that instead. I guess I'm gonna have to be cruel to other people and just take joy in the thrill of power because I don't get to cry and I don't get to be despondent or miserable. I only get to be angry or smug or superior to other people. That's my source of emotional stability, is superiority to other people, especially women. Hooray! That's cool. I'm gonna grow up to be a stable adult with a podcast and selling a line of diet supplements for brain force or whatever. Because that's the other part of it, is like that doesn't really seem to be that much a part of Jax specifically, but in reality, so much of how men are taught to find their emotional stability, their emotional center, is through superiority to other people, right? Through superiority, especially to women, but also to queer people, right? Like to gay men who are a failed kind of man and therefore a kind of woman, and therefore they're less than you, right? And to women and to non-binary people, and God help us to trans people, right? Like men are taught so much to find their emotional stability from a position of superiority, right? Because you are a man, and you are the man, and being the man makes you better. It makes you the head of the family. It makes you the breadwinner. It makes you strong. It makes you a warrior. It makes you powerful. And that is where you need to find all of your confidence and all of your self-worth, is from your feeling of superiority towards the inferior, right? And it's bad for you. It's really bad for you. It's very, very bad. Because it alienates you fundamentally from the majority of the rest of humanity, to the point that you can't form meaningful relationships with anyone, and so you gravitate constantly towards other men because their validation is the only thing that matters to you, but they'll only give you that validation if you perform masculinity in a way that they can recognize, which is to say, if you perform your masculinity by making other people miserable and declaring your superiority to other in various ways, or enacting cruelty, or reveling in power. And it sucks. That doesn't seem to, like, Jax doesn't quite seem to have that level of gendered thing. Like, he's not especially cruel to Pomni for being a woman, for example. Like, he never really plays explicitly with misogyny in that way. It's subtextual more than quite that expressive, but yeah. It's grim. Like, So I recognize Jax. Like, I recognize Jax. I've seen that guy before, occasionally in the mirror. Yeah, there's a cat meowing outside my door.
Hey, I have something I like.
Honestly, fucking...
I have something I... Hey, I have some...
That's a scene straight out of a romantic comedy, by the way.
Hey, I have something I like. You can speak first.
Let's talk after the show.
Hey! You two should kiss!
Yeah, sounds good.
Shut up. Okay. But what's an award show without honorable mentions and...
The interesting thing here is what happens to Jax when he has no one to perform to, right? Like, because when he's arguing with Pomni, he's able to put that mask on, right? Like, he has someone to perform against. He has a fight that he can fight, right? He's able to put on that mask and be like, I don't care about anything. It was funny. I have no feelings. But here now, when it's just kind of him with his thoughts, when there's nothing to fight, right? Like, you can't convert all of those feelings into just, like, aggression or cruelty. All of a sudden, it's a little bit harder to keep a lid on it, isn't it?
Right? It's bad! Unlike my show, which is good.
And the thing about repressed emotions is, like, it has to go somewhere. It has to go somewhere. Like, you have all these feelings. They have to go somewhere. They have to. Like, there is no putting a lid on it. They have to go somewhere. Somewhere, somehow, they will be expressed. And either you can choose to do it in a way that you... of your choosing, and that is, like, maybe a little bit healthy for you in some way, shape, or form, or else they are going to express themselves, and you don't get to have any choice in the matter. And that's what something like this is. Like, it's either something like this, or you lash out, right? Like, you end up lashing out, you end up, like, putting it on other people. And you, like, if you repress enough, you can do very, very bad things to people. Not because you want to, but because at some point you run out of any other option, right? And that's not to absolve anyone who does it of their responsibility. Your responsibility as a person is to not let it get to that point ever. But it gets to that point.
God, you look stupid.
And that Jax, like, his reaction to having a panic attack is to call himself an idiot, right? Is to just abuse himself for failing to hold his mask. Ugh.
So.
It's still funny. Oh, man. Jax X Disappearing Guy fanfic. Like, Disappearing Guy would be an amazing protagonist of an orgasm denial fanfic. Just saying.
And the award for biggest sailor mouth goes to Zooble.
I do feel like I kind of want to know what kind of horrifying vision Zooble was having before they bimbofied. Like, in the way that Ragatha had that horrifying vision of Gangle, I wonder what Zooble was seeing before they got zonked out. I wonder what would happen to Jax if he got on the stupid juice. Because, like, getting drunk would probably not do anything good for Jax whatsoever. The stupid juice seems to work a little bit differently than just... It's more like getting high, I guess. Like, it's a bit more like killing your inhibitions a little bit. Like, I think he would have a bad trip, basically. A really bad trip.
All right, folks, it's now the moment you've all been waiting for. The award for favorite character. Bubble, give me a drum roll. And the award for favorite character goes to... Why, it's me, everyone!
Bathed in angelic light. Rising into the air, ascending. It's funny how much, like, again, I really am curious about Caine's psychology. The way that he's trapped, like, we've talked about, like, the way that Caine is trapped between desperately wanting to please the players, right? Like, desperately wanting everyone to like him and to make people happy, but being fundamentally incapable of doing it, right? Like, of having these parts of his nature that just make him unable to understand what it is that makes other people happy. Because, again, it depends on how we're supposed to take him as a character. Is he a character, or is he just a tragic machine, right? Is Caine someone who could conceivably change and get better? Or is he someone who is doomed by his limited nature as a robot, right? Is he someone who just, like, who is doomed to this, who will never, no matter how hard he tries, no matter what how he tries to change his approach, he will never be able to relate to people. He will never be able to please them or make them happy. Or is he someone who could change and who could get better? That's kind of important, I think. Like, again, this thing about... Because that seems to be something like that, certainly this episode, that kind of seems to be what it's exploring, right? Jax is in that state of self-denial, right? I am limited by my nature. I can only ever be this archetype, right? I can't be better. I can't have depths. I cannot change, right? And I don't want to change, and I don't want to be capable of changing. And Ragatha, who's afraid that she's incapable of changing, right? Like, she's afraid that she'll never be able to hold down a stable relationship with anyone because everyone's always going to get tired of her and learn all her tricks and start to hate her and go, right? There are multiple times the show raises this specter of this fear of being stuck and unable to make yourself better in any way. And Gangle and Zubul are both sort of counterpoints to that, because Gangle is able to, like, make decisions that are healthy for her and change and like stand up for herself a little bit. And Zubul is very much someone who knows that changing yourself to be happier is possible, right? Like, that's part of the like, she has said, I don't like my body, right? Like, I don't like it, but she never stops trying to make it work for her, right? Like, she never stops. She keeps going, even though the parts are imperfect and shit is fucked. She still believes that it's possible, and she still argues for it, right? I want to be able to fuck Caine. Give me the ability to fuck... people keep telling me either that Zubul goes by any pronouns, or by she, they, or by they. And I'm not sure what's canon. But the point is, Zubul keeps trying, right? Like, Zubul does not surrender to the inevitability that they will never find the right pieces, right? They keep going. And that's, like, again, if that's a central theme that the show is about, then Caine as a character is interesting in the sense of, like, is he the one who is actually doomed? Is he the only one in the show who is actually doomed to be limited by his nature, while everyone else is, like, has the possibility of change? Is that his tragedy? I wonder. I wonder if someone can unlock Caine's restrictions. Like, that's the thing. Caine is so limited, right? Like, we've talked about this. Caine is literally incapable of taking on certain kinds of information and feedback, right? When Zubul says she wants to be able to fuck, or they want to be able to fuck, Caine cannot hear it. Like, Caine cannot hear that information. Right? He cannot hear it. He cannot understand it. He cannot internalize it. All he can do is reset. Right? And return to a previous state of being where he hadn't heard that information. And that's tragic, right? Like, because that's kind of the same thing with, like, Jax does the same thing, right? Jax also refuses to hear information that goes counter to his self-conception, right? When Pomni tells him straight up, no, we were bonding, we were building a friendship, we are having a connection here, you're full of shit. Jax cannot accept that information. He cannot hear it. It is because it does not comport with his understanding of himself, right? He cannot integrate that information. He cannot internalize it. So, you know, like, is that what Caine's function is as a narrative, as a piece of the narrative, is to sort of elucidate that thing, right? That Jax is kind of doing the same thing when he's refusing to accept other information. Refusing to accept something that challenges his self-perception or his understanding of himself, right?
We had a whole suggestion box for that.
Yeah, Zubul and I constantly say we like more chill and relaxing adventures.
Did you really not like my softball one?
I'm not big into sports, sorry.
The suggestion box just causes interpersonal drama, and me no likey.
All right, you really want to know what I want?
Oh no.
I want the ability to have sex.
No way. Are we finally having this conversation?
Oh, hi, Zubul.
Like that, where Caine, like, is about to break down and then he puts the mask back on, essentially. I feel like that could be seen as a kind of mirror to this, right? Like, it's the same thing of like he has this overload of like ding, and then like that feels like it's a thing of a similar nature. Like, that feels like we might be meant to understand those as similar things.
Fine! We're bringing teams back. Pair up in teams of 2, you all get 3 lives, last team surviving is the winner. Happy?
Not really.
Well, that's not my problem right now. I have an awards show to plan, so you guys are gonna have to handle yourselves for a bit. You get 5 minutes to figure the teams out. Once that's up, it's a free-for-all.
Come on, Sadie.
Again, what is Caine remembering here? What is he remembering? Again, that thing about repressing memories, being unwilling to take on new information. Caine has these pictures. What's the memory that they represent for him?
You want to know why? It's 'cause it's funny. I do everything 'cause it's funny. 'Cause I'm the funny one.
The funny one?
Yeah. Ragatha's the cheerful one, Gangle's the sad one, Kinger's the crazy one, Zubal's the grumpy one.
It's so, like, it really is. Ragatha's the cheerful one. No, she's not. She really isn't. And Kinger is probably the most mentally stable of everyone in the circus, right? Given everything he's been through.
And you are the one who hasn't figured that out yet. We all just became archetypes.
Jax is a teenager who thinks they've got it all figured out. It is definitely a very juvenile thing in the sense of being... It is the kind of belief that you have prior to self-actualization and an understanding that the world is complex. It is a kind of worldview that is calculated to simplify things down to factors that you can understand and control, right? And the very difficult thing, the grown-up thing, is to understand that human beings are complicated. The world is very complicated. You can't reduce people down to categories and simple boxes that they can be put in. And trying to do so is inevitably going to lead you to getting in trouble because you're going to be wrong all the time. Like, that's the adult, that's the non-juvenile way of thinking of the world, is like, yeah, shit is complicated. There's a lot of stuff I don't know, and there are many, many things I don't understand, and I have to make space for that complexity and be willing to listen and learn. Jax's worldview here is the one of like, well, everyone else is too stupid to figure out the simple truth that I have, and that makes me smarter and better than everyone else. And let's not ask ourselves or think about why other people have not come to the same conclusion. It must be because they're stupid, because otherwise I'm wrong, and that's uncomfortable, and that's scary, and I don't like that. That's uncertainty that I'm not equipped to handle, and that is juvenile, right? Being an adult means being capable of handling uncertainty, being capable of handling not knowing something, right? It means being capable of understanding and being respectful of your own ignorance, right? And it's the same. That's the same mindset you get with conspiracy theorists. Like, conspiracy theorists have that same mindset of the world is really complicated, and that's scary, right? Like, the world is full of these structures of power that affect my life in ways I can't even begin to understand, and I can't control them. That's terrifying. I would much rather have it be a thing of like, oh, there's a conspiracy, there's a cabal, there's a specific group of bad guys who are making the world bad on purpose, and we can fight the bad guys and then win. It's a very simplified explanation, right? Like, it's a way to compress and flatten a very complicated round world into a flat Earth that you can kind of like that you can hold in your head without having to worry about unknowns, right? Conspiracy theory thinking is of that same kind of juvenile nature, right? There's a very, very simple explanation for the world, but someone else is keeping it from me, right? They, usually the Jews, when you, like, any conspiracy theory community you ever interact with, at some point it's anti-Semitism. Somewhere down the line it just happens. If it's like anti-Semitism and trans people, and like usually trans people are said to be an anti-Semitic conspiracy, or like a Jewish conspiracy or whatever. Like that just happens. But conspiracy theory thinking has that same juvenileness, right? Because it is this unwillingness to accept that the world is complicated beyond what can be explained with a simple narrative, right? It's part of the reason why I side-eye certain kinds of astrology a little bit also, because astrology also has a tendency to be this kind of flattening thing of like, oh, well, that person is the way that they are because they are a Libra in the rising house of the Mars thing or whatever. Like, there's a system here that explains all of the ways in which a person can be, and complexity isn't real, and everything can be explained like it's that kind of thinking that's like, and Jax is displaying it, right? Like, because he has this explanation, this narrative that makes sense to him, he sort of goes, because I know the narrative, because I know the simple story of the truth of how everything really is, I at least have the self-awareness to choose who I am. The irony being that of everyone in the digital circus, Ragatha maybe Ragatha, but like Jax is one of the people who has the least autonomy and makes the fewest decisions about who he is. Like, as we see in the confrontation with the two of them, when Pomni hugs him, he pushes her away, and he doesn't even know why, right? That's not self-awareness. That's not choosing who you are. That is having a visceral, emotional reaction that you don't understand and then refusing to think about it. Right? Instead of thinking about why did I just do that, instead of wondering about himself, instead of being curious, he goes, oh, well, I have to prevent that from ever happening again. I have to prevent that intimacy from ever scaring me again. I don't want to know why it happens. I don't want to understand it. I just want it to not ever happen again. Flattening a complex world into a very simple answer, right? And yeah, there's a lot here. I really should just make yeah, I don't know. I don't think I want to make a video essay about Digital Circus until it's over. Not until it's over. But I definitely... It's also just... like, there are many times when there's a show like Digital Circus or like Has Been Hotel and Hell of a Boss or whatever, right? Like, where there's a lot of conversation around it. And I kind of want to do a video about it, but then on the other hand, it's like... I don't necessarily always feel like I have deep analysis to offer. A lot of the time, it feels like I'm just kind of saying the obvious parts of what the show is telling us. And so I get kind of discouraged. Because I don't feel like I'm really adding anything to the conversation. But then sometimes I watch the kinds of videos that other people make about a show like Has Been Hotel, and then I go, oh no, wait, actually, hang on. Hold on a second. Maybe saying the basic stuff, maybe there's a value to that because sometimes people don't seem to know the basic stuff very well. I don't want to call out any specific creator because I didn't bother to remember their names. But when I was thinking about doing that Has Been Hotel character design video, I watched a few of the other, like, I tried to watch some of the other ones on YouTube, and it's like, okay, all right, that's a lot. Oh boy, that's a lot of opinions with no argument behind them. Oh dear. So I don't know. Maybe I should do something before the show is over. I don't know. Anyway, that's besides the point. I think I'm talking in circles enough now that we've run out of things to say about this episode. So. Yeah, and my avatar has stopped working, I see as well, in the recording. I wonder when that happened. Oh yeah, look, it's frozen. It thinks that's my right hand. Let me just restart. I don't know how long my cartoon avatar has been completely still in the reaction recording. It could have been a while. Oh, there I am. Look, I can move again. Hooray. Finger tracking. Ugh. Oh god, we've gone for 3 hours and 50 minutes at this point. Good lord. Didn't think it would be quite that long. I was gonna order food. It's a little late for that now. Oh well. Anyway, if you've sat through the video this long, YouTube person, congratulations. I hope everything is going okay in your life. I guess, whatever deep, dark hole of depression you must have fallen down into in order to sit through all of this, I hope it gets better soon. If you want to watch these recordings happen live, you can become a member of the channel, or else just look out for the Discord invite link that I post sometimes, occasionally. You can click on that, and then you can come along to it. Comment, subscribe, YouTube, whatever stuff. I've talked long enough. Goodbye.